Three, two, one, go.
Welcome, everyone.
William's back.
I'm here.
Yeah, William is back.
It's a non-kids week.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. How was the convention?
It was good. They had way more people there than usual. Like they actually set up a separate floor just for food
Really?
because there was so many guests that they had.
So you
there.
buy like a $20 churro.
I
So,
didn't.
yeah.
Because I actually went with my girlfriend and her daughter, and they did something I've never done.
Which is?
We left during the middle of the convention and walked to a place to go get food. So, and then you come back and go right back in.
They stamp your hand for re-entry?
I registered our badges beforehand, so we didn't even have to wait in line. We literally got to go to the re-entry line and just walk right in.
Oh.
Oh, neat.
So it was way better.
Did you go for one day or did you
One
go
day.
for... Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you can set it up, register everything beforehand, and there's like, you just walk right in. We even got in before it opened.
Oh, that's cool. Wait,
Yeah.
so this thing of leaving to get food and coming back, right?
Yeah.
Why is that weird for you?
I just have never done it.
Like
It's
leaving
like
an event or what?
The concept didn't even occur to me to.
Is this like just specific to Comic-Con or like if you went
It's
to...
fan expo, so it's like I heard on the one of the shows. You're like, why are these guys here? They're not tied to anything. But it's
Oh,
fan.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
called Comic Con. They called it Fan Expo. So it's about
Oh, okay, so they broadened it
all
out.
that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
So you can bring in,
So you can have your Breaking Bad guys and whatever, like you
Okay,
brought
right,
up,
right. Yeah.
and all that. So that's why like the whole Scream cast was there and all this kind of stuff
Green?
from the first Scream.
Really?
Yeah.
Courtney Cox was there?
She wasn't, but it had like
right.
Nev Campbell?
yes, she was there.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And like the Matthew Lillard or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
All the rest of them were pretty much there.
Yeah.
So
Including Drew Barrymore?
no, even though she was the headline, she was in it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, right. Yeah, she got stabbed.
but she was like the headline when
Right,
it was
yeah.
advertised.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just never thought of actually like leaving and then coming back, and so they're just like, let's go out and grab food. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what? But yeah, you're like right near 16th Street, so there's
A lot more
All the
expensive food right
food.
outside, yeah.
but
So you can get a
So-
$25 churro.
Yeah, I used to, like, for things like that, I would typically go with the people who, instead of going out, would be trying to smuggle in.
well, you can bring in food too.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought chips and stuff like that, and
Right.
so yeah, the kids would snack. 'Cause I figured we'd be waiting in the lines at some point, and the kids would be like, I don't want to wait in line. But
How bad were the lines?
some were bad, some were crazy, some
Like,
were
what's a bad line at a Comic-Con kind of thing?
like
Like, time-wise?
an
Oh, the
hour and a
Walking
half,
Dead
2
guys
hours.
probably.
2 hours?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
to just stand in line for one person.
Yeah.
Or you could pay like they had things where
You can go in the special line.
I don't know if it was Scream or if it was one of the other ones, but you could pay for the experience and you get all of them to sign stuff and do all this kind of thing, and it costs like $350.
Jesus.
But to just do one person to get like a signed autograph
That's not
would
worth
be
it.
like
Yeah.
$80 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So like Livy waited in line for the voice person for Deku.
The
and-
English one?
Yeah.
You guys.
That's what we watched,
I
though,
know.
of course.
I thought you started. I thought you actually made the.
Fly the guys from Japan.
I don't see why not.
We're in America.
Yeah, in America, it's far.
And chances are most of the people here
Yeah.
listen to the English version, right?
That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, right.
Especially kids.
Yeah.
They're not like, ooh, I need to hear it as it's been played in Japan versus I can just sit here and listen to
Well,
it.
the kids who do say that, you gotta watch out for them, man. So there's the ones just like, put your wallet in your front pocket.
So just getting the autograph with him was $40. And then if you wanted to include like a picture with them, that put it to 60, and then all this kind of stuff. But so yeah, I'm sure I didn't actually get any of the actual actors and stuff. I would have done Daredevil because
Charlie Cox?
yeah, because they had him and Vincent D'Onofrio and John Bernthal and all that. So I probably would have
John Bernthal.
gone over there, but I just
Isn't he like 60?
John
like,
Barenthal? No.
isn't he like surprisingly old?
I don't think so.
No, because I mean, he looks young in that first episode of Walking Dead.
Well, he goes all the way back to fucking The Sopranos, doesn't he?
John Barenthal?
No,
I could swear he goes back to a way older show.
I
It goes against our ethos of looking this up, so we can make this a thing, but like I can swear he got his start on a show way older than you think.
thought he started on Walking Dead.
I think he was in like a couple of things before, but he's not.
Yeah,
He's
he
not.
hasn't been around
He
that
just
long.
looks like his face has been beat up and through the ringer for, like he's been a born boxer. Like it looks like parts of him are just broken and rehealed.
Fucking real.
Okay, now I could be thinking of somebody else. I could be thinking of Frank Grillo.
That guy's been around a long time.
He definitely looks older.
Yeah.
But yeah, John Barenthal looks young and
I can't recall ever seeing him in anything before Walking Dead. So
But you gotta remember, that was a while back too.
well, that was like what, 2012?
Is that when it started?
Something like that.
Probably
Yeah.
10 seasons.
That's at least 10 years ago.
Are there
Maybe
10
20.
seasons of that show?
Probably. I mean, it just finished, so I think it's.
I don't know.
9.
They got so many of
And
them.
I don't know if they count like their split seasons as 2 seasons.
Yeah,
and
no,
some
they
of
don't
that
double
stuff.
down. on
No,
it.
there's a reason that fucking Ghost Hunters is on season 28, but doesn't mean that it's been on
For
a
20
quarter
years.
of
Oh,
a
right,
fucking
right,
century.
And COVID might have slowed down a season and different things, and
I think it almost certainly did, yeah.
probably. So, yeah, I mean,
I thought they cut that. They cut that before COVID hit, though.
well, they did more.
Well, yeah, but those were different, like different. That was a different series, the one that was in LA and stuff. I thought they wrapped up the previous one like 4 or 5 years ago.
No, Walking Dead finished. Well,
Yeah,
maybe, no, it finished when I was still. Was I still in the oil field? No, I was.
Wait,
I was
is it
out.
over?
The original.
the original one's over, and it's been over for a little while.
I think it's only been over for 2 years.
Okay, all right.
Maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
2 years.
But that's because Andrew Lincoln said he's saying I'm fucking out. I'm
Oh no,
done."
he was gone years ago.
Oh, okay. So they kept going after
Yeah.
him. Oh,
Oh,
okay. I
yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah.
So
They
I-
had,
I don't know,
they
man.
had, like,
I-
4 seasons after him.
yeah, no, I noped out at season 3. So
So maybe they had 11 seasons.
yeah,
Like he was
Okay,
probably in like
yeah.
7, and then I don't know, but
I just remember. Yeah, it was definitely an early 2010s kind of thing. So yeah, because it's supposed to take place in like 2006 or something like that.
okay.
It's actually supposed to take place earlier than when it actually cut, if I recall. Like Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad was the same way. So it wasn't supposed to be contemporary. It was like 5 years before or something like that. I can't remember.
So you
So-
don't have to tie it into modern events.
Well, no, it's okay that you have flip phones, and we don't know that the government tracks those, so you pull the battery out, which doesn't help. But
Well, it does.
It
but
does.
It's just off.
Well, yeah, they still know where you were.
Where you were.
Yeah.
Well, it would have basically been okay. So it would have been located to the last location that you would have pinged.
Right.
with, right.
So
Yeah.
it's not tracking where you go from that point.
Right.
Yeah, but that's to even say they were doing that back in 2004. We don't know that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Or
Whatever it was supposed to be. Yeah.
I had my Nokia, I think. No,
So did Walter White. So yeah.
I'm not even entirely sure. Okay, so what they would have been able to do then would have been basically bouncing off from, say, like tower to tower.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Your last. So
And
what?
there aren't nearly as many towers.
No, it would have been so the protocol then would have called it a handshake. They would have been able to
Right.
measure your last handshake before it went off.
And just put it in a ballpark.
Yeah, because for there, it's like if you look at it, it's a circle. It's
Yeah.
like a 3-mile radius of the area, and they're like, well, if the murder happened over here, then we have no evidence that we can prove that he was in the general vicinity.
Well, that's usually what they're looking for. So
Yeah, it's different now though.
It-
terms of
it's
actually,
way
like,
different now.
location, it's way closer.
oh no,
It's
they
way-
can fucking find you real fast.
Yeah.
now. So
Just
yeah.
like if your location services turn on, they're
Yeah.
like, you're right here.
Yeah.
You're right here.
Right
We can
here.
hit you within 2 meters.
Yeah.
You were not in the kitchen. You were in the study.
It is about that close.
Now, fortunately, those things do not don't track elevation well. So at least at this point, you can be like, no, man, I was upstairs and you can't prove otherwise. Right?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
But
It's coming.
I
Yeah.
think there are some that can actually do that because they do. There are some apps that do track elevation,
Yeah,
like
they
for,
do.
for athletic things.
Yeah,
but
true.
I don't know, man. Like for
Yeah.
crime purposes, I don't know if this is really helping us
Yeah,
out.
tracking elevation was just based upon your XY axis on a map that's already got an elevation gradient.
That's
underneath
exactly it. That's
Yeah.
whereupon the problem lies. Is
Right,
it
yeah.
assumes certain.
Yeah. So I can't tell if you're on the 50th floor or the first floor of the building. So a house like this, it's not going to work. So
No.
yeah, they're going to be like, well, you heard the screaming, right? No, it's like, yeah, you kind of did. So-
Headphones.
Headphones.
You can't prove it.
You can't
Yeah.
prove it.
Yeah.
Man, you talk about blast from the past. I started watching old school Simpsons again. So
How old school is old
the
school?
first season.
Whoa.
The ones that are
Oh,
animated,
right.
animated, yeah,
Animated.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw Krusty's heart attack today. I couldn't stop laughing for like 5 minutes. It's so good.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
I mean, there's a datedness to it.
Well, yeah, all the lip sync is bad and stuff.
Well, and there's the weird thing where it's like, why did you guys decide that the heads move in 2 sections? It's
They
like,
do
why,
that, yeah.
Why does everything above the nose move before the mouth, and
Yeah.
it'll move in 2 seconds? It's weird.
Wow.
I think that's just a Matt Groening thing. So I don't know, man. But I forgot like the world before cell phones. So,
True, man.
yeah, I know. And it was like, wow, this is really old, man. So yeah. Because I ran across the modern one the other day where he was saying like, he said, oh, I fought President Bush once. And I was like, you guys don't even know which one he's talking about.
Well, to be fair, I mean, if you watch the new ones, they don't look bad, but they look incredibly sterile.
They do.
Yeah.
So I watched like 2 of those in a row, and then I started screen scraping them on YouTube TV. I just fired those up yesterday, and I've been watching it like nonstop. So
There's nothing new you would want to watch?
I can't really find anything right now. So there's a couple movies that I got spooled up. So I want to watch Joker, but they want $5 for it. So
I will say it's worth $5.
yeah, I'll
but-
pay $5, but I want to make sure it's at a time where I can just sit and watch it. So. Unfortunately, it's not available for freezies. So, but I've been watching like other shit that's old that I just hadn't seen in ages, and it was delightful. So there's The Simpsons and Seinfeld, and
I'm watching 5 shows at once right now.
really,
Yeah.
which
the
one?
Fuck, what are you watching?
Peaky Blinders.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That one's good.
That one's
I think
good.
I'm up
That
to
one's been around a
season
while.
4.
Yeah.
I'm almost done with Succession.
Oh, I never saw that.
And then I'm watching the Lincoln Lawyer.
Oh, with Matthew McConaughey.
No, they made a show.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the movie.
I guess the movie we'd have to pay for, so we're watching the show first. And then we're alternating between that and Daredevil, because they're both lawyer shows. So I get my lawyer show, she gets her lawyer show. And so
Is she a lawyer?
She's actually gonna take the bar exam like
Oh, okay.
in February.
Wow.
Oh.
Good luck.
Yeah. And then there's one other one in there. I can't remember which one I'm watching.
I can't watch law shows with my wife.
Does she love them?
She
Or she
like it's all
ruthless?
wrong.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all wrong.
Like when I watched Armageddon with Eric.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Oh, you got
this is ridiculous. What? This doesn't work. You can't. I'm like, I was entertained. I notice all the drilling errors.
They had I used to watch a TV show called Boston Public,
Oh, I remember that. I used to
and
watch that.
being in the public school system, life was nothing like that.
It's not near as exciting.
Not even
Yeah.
close. like,
I remember watching that show. So,
I mean, I liked it. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, okay, you're all like, one of you might be attractive, but that's not how this works. Most of you are dumpy. right?
Oh, right, yeah.
You know,
There's a
and
lot more cellulose. So,
yeah, there is. There's a lot more. It's like, you know, there's less drama and more people that just have like strong opinions about dumb things.
Right.
Okay, so she watches law shows.
Uh-huh.
I'm cool to watch a cyber show. Do you watch teaching shows like
Oh, well, they're
Professor?
bad.
They're bad.
Yeah,
Is there anything that
well, the
relates
one out
to
there,
your...
like Community, has got my fucking nemesis in it, so I can't watch it. So
Which one's that?
that's the one that it
Oh.
was Dan Harmon's first show with Chevy Chase.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
but he hasn't
College.
been on that in a long time,
I
though.
don't care. I'm not gonna watch it.
Do they still make it?
No, I don't
Oh.
think so.
So is there anything related to your profession that you're like, ah, I gotta check out?
The fuck would my profession
Yeah, exactly.
be at this point? It's like, if like my profession is so nebulous at this point. It's like, is there a guy on computer show? Like yeah.
Somebody transcribing something?
No, it would be boring, dude. It would be like there would
Well,
be.
they could be like one of those ones where you see it and like you die from it. They've had things like that
Wait, what?
where like
I've seen one movie of that.
not the video one with the ring.
Right.
They had one where if you like send an email or something like that, also it's like a horror one. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, that would basically be The Ring,
But it's
right,
more, it's a
exactly.
little bit more modern
right.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's The Ring but computer. It would be how you pitch that. And if you're working with a
Without
real,
the scary girl.
if you're working with a really uncreative producer and they're like, all right, let's roll with it, then you could make that show. But that's all that pitch is. It's The Ring but computer.
That's fair.
No, so it's not anything professional. So if I were to go back like on my old professions, right? Okay, so the jobs that I would watch a show about. Okay, I would watch a show. I've watched shows about people that worked in call centers. Right. Sometimes that's funny, but frankly, that's only a backdrop. You don't sit there and listen to the people do the work. It's just a place where people go and use that to introduce conversations.
Yeah. Okay.
I would watch a show about skycaps.
They don't exist anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Which means it would be a historical piece.
Right, yeah, it'd be in black and white and grainy. Yeah.
I would watch a show
the
about
ragtime
that.
open it up. You know?
I would watch a show about oil workers.
Just not the show about oil workers.
Look, okay.
There is a show about oil workers.
There was Black Gold,
Oh,
and it was in Texas, and
They had
it
to
was
tear it down.
it was so bad.
so there's
Okay.
just too much racism for today's mind.
No, they
No,
were
just
just
totally-
always getting fights or
Yeah,
be
just-
angry, and everything had to be full tilt, yelling all
Yeah.
the time.
See, Discovery had a show on trains that was like in Canada. That was kind of like that too, and I was like, I watched it for about half a season, and I was like, it's not this stressful.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just
Exactly.
like, you're gonna like, gotta get this shipment in, blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah. We
yeah.
gotta clear the track because there's snow everywhere. Oh, and it's like, no, we would tie up and come back tomorrow after everything, clean that shit up. And so it was just like, okay, you guys are forcing the play. So
Yeah, and it's the ones where it's so bad where the narrator has to intervene, where it's like,
it was Mike Rowe.
there you go.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
When
Mike
she
Rowe.
pops out, it's
Yeah.
like every 15 minutes they have to wait.
Right.
$65,000 right down the
Yeah,
toilet.
exactly. 3 children starve overseas, or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if these T-shirts don't make it from here to here, and that's
Comic
well,
Con
I've
will
been
be
doing
up
these
there.
shows.
Africans will not get their 2012 Super Bowl shirts.
Who was the loser of that Super Bowl?
Right.
Because that's the one that.
Right, that's how.
Who was it?
Whoever the Patriots played that year.
Yeah, who was it? Or yeah, like the '99 Atlanta Falcons. Super
Right.
Bowl.
Will not become Atlanta Falcon fans.
Yeah. They're not gonna because they're fucking eating them. It's just like
The Denver Green Bay game was on today. The Super Bowl.
Whoa.
Yeah.
see that.
It was on. So there's this one channel on YouTube TV that's like classic NFL where they just do nothing but classic games. It was actually on there.
Huh.
So,
Did you watch it?
I watched about 5 minutes of it, and I'm
And then
like,
you went to the Simpsons.
I'm like, if I'm gonna go back in time, I'm gonna go where I feel good about things, man.
Did it?
So I know what happens to this franchise later. I'm not happy about that.
You were mad because you could see the future. Was
Right,
it
yeah.
was it one of the games that was old enough where it looked like the game was being played in slow motion? When you
No,
were
it
watching
actually
Okay.
looked pretty good.
Okay.
So even the chirons on the bottom of the screen
Yeah.
didn't look that bad.
Oh, they weren't fucking standard def.
They were fine. So
Wow.
yeah, they were not in like Etch a Sketch, you know.
Yeah. The fucking like
So,
abstract graphics that we used to have to.
right.
Did Madden call a game?
No,
No,
he
okay.
wasn't. Yeah.
I don't know if he called the sequel. I can't remember if he did or not.
Ever
I
or
don't know if he ever did.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Al Michaels.
That
So
probably makes sense.
yeah, I didn't see the announcers, but his voice is pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to pick him out.
well, has the Super Bowl ever been on Fox?
Well, I think so, but I think it's more newer, like after Madden was out. Because I think the guys that do their show before have been like doing the halftime stuff, and Joe Buck or whoever is
Oh,
doing
God.
the game.
Yeah, it would have been him and Aikman, right?
Aikman, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Aikman's-
that would have been
yeah.
later. So yeah.
So I think Madden was already done by the time Fox got it.
I don't know. I feel like there may have been one where he and Summerall actually did one.
I don't think we ever
Matt
got
and
like
Pat
a.
Summerall?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
A
I mean, they
Super
were a
Super
team
Bowl?
for like 20 years.
No,
I
I'm
don't remember ever seeing the drawings and being like, boom, and then you see this guy go over here and
Yeah, but I seem to remember that toady Pat Summerall just like mumbling his way through agreeing with whatever John says in a Super Bowl.
That was every game.
I know, but I
I don't
felt
know
like
if
he
it
did
was
it in
Super Bowl.
a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it happened, but
Yeah, the Google would solve that.
I know.
Yeah, rather than us just speculating
We don't do it.
about it. I know we don't do
We
it.
don't do
about
it.
So there's
Because
no
it's a-
resolution here.
No, just because this is exactly how like talking at the bar used to be.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's why they made the book,
and then you got to place a
the Guinness
stupid
Book of World
wager.
Records.
Oh, yeah. Which you bought at the book fair every year.
I didn't.
Just in case the tallest man actually changed. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just get to the really. It was like, oh, well, this guy can balance like 14 fucking ping pong balls on his head.
Right.
This is his stupid face. Yeah, no, this I did classic NFL games. I had a thought so this one I kind of want to run by you guys because I'm thinking about it. Because they were talking about money, and not just in financial terms. Because you talked about actually doing some research, but I was thinking about the denominations themselves.
Okay.
So, if we got all fucking uppity about like our past leaders having our people on the money, right?
What do you mean?
Well, this guy was a slave holder. This guy was.
Oh, so we
this
got to get
guy
rid of
was white.
Hamilton or whatever.
So no, fuck that. All right, so people are gone. You have to put animals on the new denominations. You got the 1, the 5, the 10, the 1, the 2, the 5, the 10, the 20, and the 50, and the 100. What animals go on what bills?
What's the highest denomination?
the 100, you're saying?
Yeah, because the 1,000, I know they make Grover Cleveland bucks, but
They don't make those anymore.
but they did. But
Just for a little bit.
but so let's take that out because they're not really.
So the Eagles got to go on the top one.
Yeah.
The Eagle
Yeah.
goes on the top one because that's where
Yeah.
Franklin sits right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
And now is that to say that Franklin's our head honcho?
No, George Washington's the head honcho. That's why he's got 3. So
But the 1 and the
the 1, the quarter, and I guess he's got 2.
yeah
I thought he had 3. No, you're right. He's got 2.
no
Lincoln's got 2. So
yeah Jefferson's on the deuce.
Jefferson's got 2. He's also on the nickel. So
So this is what I'm saying is-
20. Who's on 20?
that's Jackson.
Jackson.
So they were
So that's-
supposed to replace it with Harriet Tubman, but I guess Donald Trump shot that down or something.
Good for him.
I don't know if he did, but
No, so that's the thing is if Washington's on the 1, does that mean because it's the number 1 that he's the
I would
top guy?
I would just turn it around and make your 100 your top dog. So
Okay, so the
yeah,
Eagles the 1.
goes on 100.
Okay, Eagle goes on the 100. What goes
Yeah.
on the 50?
On
What's
the
this-
50, you're number 2.
Mountain lion. Or cow or
Yeah,
bear.
I put a buffalo.
I was
on
looking at
there.
buffalo.
Yeah, I put a
Buffalo.
buffalo on there.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of buffalo, but a mountain lion's not bad.
No,
or
it's
a
like-
black bear.
You could put that or I would do the buffalo on the 50 because we've had buffalo nickels in the past. It's been on there before.
Yeah.
So like eagles. So yeah.
But see, I like that because both of those animals were on the verge of extinction that came back.
Yeah.
And they're
Um,
pretty much just America.
And in
hear
both
that
cases,
bald
it was
eagles
our
are-
fault.
I hear that bald eagles are thoroughly filthy birds. So
Why wouldn't they be?
yeah, I guess I had never thought about it, but I guess when all you eat is raw fish, you stink pretty bad.
Have you ever been to the penguin enclosure?
Yeah.
Those
Okay.
things
Yeah.
stink.
They're horrifying, man.
It's good to be me.
And is their entire fish diet that does this to them.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would put the mountain lion on a 20. So yeah, that's good.
I'd want a 20.
Yeah.
Like that sounds cool.
mountain lion on the 20?
Yeah.
And then like, yeah,
You gotta put a rattlesnake on something.
rouse.
Oh,
Yeah,
Are you
okay.
getting
See,
to the don't tread on me?
Yeah, you gotta chop it up into little pieces. So
well, that's the front versus the back.
sure. Yeah. Maybe it's just how you fold it, you know?
Yeah. There you go. The rattlesnake. I want the rattlesnake on the 20. I think it's better.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna be picky about it.
No, because you have to remember, like, this is the like. So, like, we'd say, like, give me a Jackson or give me a Franklin.
Well, right now you
So
call
if you
it-
said give me an eagle, okay, got it. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
okay,
for a 100,
yeah.
right.
So
If you said give me a
rolling with it.
rattlesnake,
yeah. Can you break a rattlesnake?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I like rattlesnake on the 20.
All right, no, that's okay. I'll go with that.
So if you want to put the
the mountain lion.
mountain
on
lion
10.
on 10,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Like what? Jackrabbits or
see, we're getting to crap animals, and we need to save a good one
No,
for the
you
5
need
and
to
the
do
1.
like a really good, like a distinctly American animal for the 5. So like the California condor would be a good one. So oh, they're cool looking birds, man. They're humongous too. So-
humongous, but I don't know.
I didn't say turkey vulture.
Well, what are some other American animals like prairie dogs?
Alligator,
Alligator's a good one.
Are those American?
Yeah,
pretty much. I think so.
yeah. There are light version of crocodiles.
Oh, you know what? There are crocodiles all over
Oh,
the
yeah.
planet. Okay, so on the 10,
Yeah, you can't do it
because you need the 5 and the 1 to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like really iconic.
I don't think so.
If it's a Washington and a Lincoln,
Well,
it's the most common.
I already
currency.
told you we're going to flip it around, man. So
But it's the most
important is
common
the
currency,
biggest
man.
one.
It's the most common currency.
Yeah,
You don't want the,
I think the most important goes on the big one. So,
yeah, it flips around. It's like a
Well, you can do a bear.
bear's good.
see. Okay, that's California.
Actually,
right
a
there,
raccoon
too.
is
Yeah.
distinctly American. So
You don't want that as like.
you
your
don't want
huge
trash pandas
bill.
on there? Come on.
No,
man.
you don't
No,
want.
you don't want any of
That's
your
like
money.
signifying that your money's going down the
Garbage.
tube.
No, well, the other thing is you don't want any of your money to be able to be shortened to a coon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Prairie dogs are okay. So
Prairie dogs are okay. They're
Yeah.
like varmints.
yeah, I know, but they're everywhere. There's lots.
Are
of
there
them.
any like American fish?
What if you do like a Mustang? So
Oh, Mustang's good.
yeah. that'd be a good one.
Oh, okay. So a Mustang you could put on the 1 or the 5.
Yeah.
That's where you wrap around to the good stuff is on the.
Or like a Chinook salmon. That'd be a good one too.
See, this one's like a
Yeah.
fish or
Fish.
like is catfish like American? I
You
feel like
don't
it's.
want
They're
that.
gross, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've eaten them.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
know,
you
but
don't
they eat
want-
filth. If you don't
yeah.
want trash pandas, you don't want catfish. That's
No,
basically
they're fucking-
a water trash panda.
No, it's they're bottom feeders. That's what they do. But I mean, if you're gonna go off that, we don't have
Or
any
you do like
vultures
a
or any
moose.
shit on here.
Moose is a good one.
That's more Canadian,
Eh,
don't
it's
you
kinda-
think?
Yeah, that might be.
Well, okay,
They
what about
cross over here?
are like
Or
like
like a Wolverine. That'd be a good one.
are those
I don't
native
know.
to?
Michigan.
They only belong in Michigan.
Yeah.
And now the Michigan school is like, yeah, the money's.
But you'd have
ours.
to have a wolf on there too.
Yeah, that's your 1 or your 5.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd have to have the gray wolf.
Everybody
yeah.
would like that, and you could have like
Yeah.
a bobcat, so or something like that.
Put it in
So
a mountain lion.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
One
I
of
mean,
those
well, you
two.
want to kick that one off the 20, so yeah, you could have a wolf and a mountain lion. That way, you like do your cat and dog people. You
Well,
know,
I'd say like
yeah.
your wolf and your Mustang as your 1 and your 5 are pretty fucking
Okay,
meh.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, no, I'll buy that.
I have no problem. Like it's like how much is that? Give me a Mustang.
Yeah, we're not doing anything cute and cuddly.
We
You
don't
could
have
literally call them wolf bucks. You know?
we don't have any like koalas. We don't have any.
Actually, you ought to just put a buck on the dollar.
Oh,
Oh,
dude. That's pretty good. Yeah.
You're
That-
welcome.
well, that settles that.
That-
So the wolf goes on the 5.
That's
you get a buck.
locked in. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay,
the
so
wolf
that's
takes
the
down
$5.
$5. So a mountain lion takes down 2 wolves.
See, this is
Or
why I'm
10
asking you
bucks.
this question. Exactly.
And a bald eagle carries them all away.
Yeah.
And then somewhere in there, that's where that snake, because it's so silent, it can take down all of them.
Yeah.
You
All
can
right,
put my
the
rattlesnake.
buck is that's
That was God. That was dumb.
That
We
was
should have
written-
thought of that right away.
That's what I said, yeah, right. That's genius.
Why were you thinking of this?
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of like, they're talking about like
screaming to
replacing
get rid of all
presidents
that.
and stuff.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
so what else would you put on the money? Or you could, it's like,
Animals is fine. So
I was like, what can you put on it
Racist.
that's neutral?
we gotta put like foreign kings and queens on there.
Like,
We gotta put like our victims on there. So we should have like a Hitler buck.
just crossed off.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, like-
It's got X's for eyes.
Yeah, like the little stamps that you
Yeah.
have.
Exactly. Yeah. You could put all your Confederate generals on there. That'd be great. That'd make them all happy.
What do
Yeah, good luck passing that one.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
that would only you can only do that on one denomination. It's like the 50 is like the fucking like enemies list is like the
Right.
people that we stepped on. Because I mean, like you think about it, you got a whole bunch of like indigenous cultures that you have crossed out. Or
Oh yeah,
have,
you
like,
put all the Sioux and the Crow on there and stuff. Oh yeah, that's not gonna work.
No,
yeah.
he's smiling there with like a checklist that he's like,
no. Well, it's like that Days of Future Past poster where you have all their pictures on the back, but then you
Oh,
put
they
like
just-
crosses through them.
Yeah,
and it said,
okay.
like,
Right. Yeah.
it says apprehended or terminated. So yeah, we have groups that are like successfully relocated.
Quarantined.
Yeah.
casino people.
Yeah, that's the 50s. The
Right. The
quarantine.
quarantine. Yeah. Yeah, no, that would go off the rails real fast. So no, I think it would I think the
change-
animals work pretty good.
I think it would change drastically depending on who the president was.
I don't think the president really gets to decide that.
I think he should.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that'd be bad.
They have control over that one.
So you have to
Oh,
reprint all
whichever-
the money every 4 years. Fuck that.
Well,
So
you have to
just get
trash a
new
lot of it
50s.
anyway.
Once
every
it's,
time.
you know, I'm okay with him being able to name ships. That's fine. So yeah, it's okay. Actually, I don't even
I
think
don't
he
know
gets
if
to
each
do
president got their own 50, like
their own 50.
their own call in the 50.
Well, actually, you know, like every state gets its own quarter, so it'd be
Yeah.
cool if every president had his own quarter.
See?
So yeah.
Or his own 50.
And that's when you're like, all right.
I mean, how many 50s do we really use?
Huh?
Exactly. You don't have to do a huge print of them.
Yeah.
And you're gonna cycle them. You're gonna destroy them. I mean, that's
doesn't
why we
matter
have
anyway. Nobody uses fucking cash. So, yeah.
So why not give them the 50s? I mean, that's the collector's piece, and
Your mom
Oh,
just like
yeah.
holding on to like Reagan 50s and
yeah, you don't have to keep searching for quarters. You're just like, nah, give me a 50.
There was a proposal a while ago to do that with a 50-cent piece. So, because who's on it? JFK's on that.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
God, I haven't seen one of those.
I still have a whole bunch of those
I
Ike
have
silver
some.
dollars.
Oh,
so yeah,
whoa.
I get a bunch of those. Those ones that don't have copper in them. So that, you know, apparently are going to be worth something if we go to a sand and diesel based economy. But I doubt it. I'm not going to get much sand or diesel.
have you checked the values on those?
I have not.
No.
So last time I checked, they were worth $1.
As
I got them at the bank of all things.
it used to say in Beckett's, they're worth what somebody is willing to pay for them.
Right. Yeah.
And it's roughly $1.
It's $1. Yeah. The bank will give me $1 for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But on eBay, you get $1.05.
Yeah, you can try all kinds of things like that. So, like, the price of a penny is actually more than a penny.
Yeah.
So it costs more to produce a penny than what it's worth, but they
Yeah.
just artificially deflate the value of it. So you know, it's like okay, whatever. That's what they've been talking about going back to like steel pennies. So yeah,
Or just, I've heard them say, let's just get rid of pennies.
I've heard that too. Yeah. So,
Be some crazy rounding.
not
5 or 10.
yeah, 5 or
I mean-
10. Yeah. So.
That adds up a lot.
It
depending on
can.
which way you go. And,
But
like,
you just
across the
adjust your
country.
prices, you know, and stuff
So
like
it always
that.
goes
Yeah,
and
so
lands.
it actually land on that shit. So
Well, that or like say because I mean, it is a just because we don't have a currency for it doesn't mean that the actual denomination in between doesn't exist. So like if
It
you're
does exist.
if you're saying that you're going,
electronically.
well, because if let's say I'm going to order 12,000 washers from you, right? You don't have to say the minimum one costs a nickel,
Right.
Right? You could.
Right.
Yeah. Because
No deal.
if we did that, because that actually just fucks everything up. That's like we just did a great disservice to our economy, right? Because at that point it's like no, it's still like 17 cents for 100. So break that down into its division, and then eventually you break it down and say like, do you round it down to 5 or 10?
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if in accounting it actually goes a smaller denomination of a penny.
I'm sure it can.
I'm sure it can, but I don't know, like for reporting purposes, if it actually. I've never seen that. So
No, not even the IRS wants to know the change.
no, they don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you don't even have pennies on your tax return.
No,
come to
yeah,
think of
no.
it. Yeah.
Because if they
If
could, they
you
would.
pry,
Yeah.
it just deletes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Because I know that somebody at the IRS is like, well, every time we round it down to 0, man, that's fucking like a penny out the door times 330 million Americans, man. We're just.
I think it's probably in the law where they have to round it down. Yeah.
I think it just makes sense. But I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like if they could, they would.
Well, the IRS possibly.
Yeah. I mean, they never tell you to round up. They just delete the change.
They
Yeah, you just
delete
delete
it.
the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to them, they're like, everybody that's been 50 cents or above has been cheating us.
I was waiting to get my tax return for like the longest time. So 'cause
Oh.
they did mine like I always do, like 2 days before it's fucking due.
Yeah.
So
Even if you get a refund?
yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, I figured mine out, so it's basically 0 every year. So yeah,
Wow.
I get pretty close. So it'll be like a couple $100 up or a couple $100 down. It won't be that big a deal.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, and I was waiting because I actually got a decent tax refund this year because I fucked it up. So
Oh.
yeah, and I guess it was like last week. I was like, "Where the fuck is my tax refund?" So it's June. So, and sure as shit, I go back and I look at it, and they said, "Oh, well, your deposit and blah blah." I was like, "Bullshit." So I go all the way back, and they deposit like the fucking day after I did it. So yeah, and I was like, "Oh."
Well, that's gone.
It's like, I wanted to be mad.
Well, you can be, because then you turn around and say, like, the fuck did I buy?
Yeah, what did I get?
Well, exactly, but I mean, it was one of these things where it wasn't like an enormous amount of money, but it was a few $100, more
Yeah.
than I usually get. And so I was like, oh yeah, I was saving up for something. I was like, that put me over the top. And then, where's my fucking tax refund? So, fucking government.
Yeah.
And then they did it, like, right away. So fast that I didn't even notice.
It's impossible for the government
Yeah.
to work that
I
fast.
know.
But it's not so much that you're just kind of like,
No.
yeah.
And I thought for sure that I was going to get audited because I sold all this shit this last year. So I sold all my stocks.
Oh.
And I sold almost all my I sold all my non-ravioli primes.
Right.
So I was like, oh, they're going to look at my shit. They didn't even care. They're like,
Not
what?
even a little bit.
Yeah. No, they're like, there you go. I was like, oh, that's right. I'm small fry. I get it.
You do it through like TurboTax?
Like, yeah, I love TurboTax.
What did it say? Like what percentage you were likely to get audited? 'Cause, like at the end of it, mine always is just like like 2%.
Yeah. I don't know if it did, but I don't pay for the upgrade packages and all the audit protection shit and stuff like that.
It usually tells you right at the end, like right as
It
my
might have. I
rate
just
is
don't
bit.
recall. But I remember that, like, so this year I actually had to do completely different forms. So because I had never sold anything and paid capital gains before, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get soaked on this. And it actually wasn't bad at
It's
all.
not even that complicated.
No, it's not
No.
complicated at all. So yeah, especially with the platforms that we use.
Shit,
it
they
was
send
like,
you.
they
Well,
send you a thing.
well, you print it out, but
So mine was really easy. So I was able to download like some XML file
Yeah.
from them, and
Yeah,
then
you
you just
just
upload
upload
it
it.
into TurboTax, and like,
Absolutely.
bam,
Yep.
you're done. And I'm like, fucking sweet. So I was like, cool. Yeah, at first they were like, we can log in your account. I was like, yeah, my ass, you can.
don't try it.
I was like, nah. So,
Good idea, bad idea.
Bad. There's a movie right there. Did you ever watch the remake of that show?
Of what?
Animaniacs?
Yeah.
They remade it?
Yeah, like a year and a half ago.
Hmm.
I didn't know that.
It's on Hulu.
Oh.
Huh. Maybe I'll check it out at some point.
Yeah, you probably get it because you probably have that like Disney Plus bundle.
Yeah, I have Hulu.
Okay.
That's where
That's part of Disney Plus.
it's tied into
It's-
ESPN and
okay.
so you could pay for the jumbo pack.
It's
that
part of
covers-
their Comcast connected three-way circle jerk of headaches that is
So-
rapidly sinking the Disney Corporation.
I heard they fired your girlfriend over there, man. So is it true?
Mine?
No, she's not your girlfriend, but
So you're not talking to me, are you?
no.
There's talk about it, but
So yesterday like my whole feed was blown up with like Ding Dong the Witch is Dead kind of thing, and I was like, really? And so, but like the very first thing that I clicked on, I was like, no, she's still there, and you're gonna like it that way. And I was like, okay, thanks, fucking fan, whatever it was, one of the movie sites that I pay attention to that I shouldn't. So it might have been the Kotaku too. I don't know. So
no, Kotaku wouldn't.
they kind of stay in their lane.
Well, they wouldn't. It's not that they wouldn't call her like the witch is dead or anything like that.
No. So I saw a bunch of those headlines,
Oh.
but then the first thing that I clicked on was like clickbaity stuff, where it's like,
Yeah.
no, she's not dead.
Kotaku
So-
is they're just ball lickers of the worst degree.
They're so fucking gone, man. I can't
Yeah.
even. Yeah. So they put out these little lists, 10 best games ever. It's like I've not even heard of 9 of these.
Oh, well,
because,
okay,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have a completely different idea of like my kind of game, which think more GTA 5 and less whatever the fuck this thing is. I think.
Well, yeah. So slots 1 through 7 are gonna be like fucking lesbian walking simulator 1 through 7,
Something like that.
all
yeah.
from the same series.
by the same
like,
group of developers.
so they're gonna find some spot for Night in the Woods. They're gonna find some spot for which I
It's some kind of Harry Potter alternative too, and they're going to tell you about it for the first time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then slot number 8 is gonna be like
It's got to be a Final Fantasy.
it's gonna be
Oh.
it's gonna be one of the
Do they
Zelda
still
games.
make
It's gonna
those?
be
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They
still
just
do
got
it.
a new
Came
one.
out,
Do
yeah.
they?
Yeah, it's gonna be like one of the new Zelda games, and it's gonna
All
be because if there's anything else they like to lick balls of more than that, it's gonna be Nintendo. So then it's gonna be like fucking F-Zero on the
F-Zero. I remember playing F-Zero. So.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game. It was okay, but it was just like once you got over the fact that like, okay, so this is just a rotating background. I'm like, this game sucks.
I'm bad at all racing games, so
Well, it's also not hard to be bad at a bad racing game.
like okay.
So there you go.
All right. I was bad at that one too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck that.
So yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask you, when was the last movie you saw in the theater?
I think it was The Force Awakens.
Would you want to see?
Or it was the
No.
second one. Yeah.
Would you want to see Oppenheimer?
Maybe.
Is that one that might pull you to the
It
theater?
might.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Are you gonna read the previews first?
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah.
Well,
It's what I do.
But even on one
So-
that you would consider, like
I
you
would
wouldn't
consider
want
that
to
one.
have the suspense and be like,
So
I want to see.
well,
what
is Oppenheimer a movie that you're really gonna have suspense on?
yeah, I kind of know how that one
Okay,
ends.
right.
Yeah.
Fair,
So
fair.
there's not really going to be too many.
They can't have a surprise twist. At
There's
the
no,
end.
there's no,
I mean, they had the one back in the 90s where John Cusack got his face cooked off. And so,
They did.
yeah, it was the same whole story about the Manhattan Project. So,
I don't remember that at all.
yeah, it happened. So,
yeah, but there's no version of these things where you're like, well, I don't want to spoil Lincoln for you.
it starts in the theater. What's going to happen? Is
The
this a
aliens
frame?
did
So,
So yeah, Oppenheimer's story is kind of documented, so it's okay.
Did you go see Dunkirk? I know you. Were,
I did.
You did. Was
Oh,
that before?
yeah, was that before or after? I don't know. Yeah, I went and saw that with the water wizard, and I think you went to that. No, maybe you
I did not. I was busy
Yeah,
working.
maybe my brother went to that with me.
You went to Did you go see the Tank movie with?
Oh, Fury? Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That was a while ago, though.
That's before.
That's before
Star Wars,
Yeah,
for
Star
sure.
Wars. Yeah, that one's been around for a while. I actually don't like that movie that much. So
It's okay, but it's not.
they put too much Vietnam in my World War II movie, man. So, yeah, it's like, oh, it's all bad and we're all bad people now. Brr. You know, it's just like,
Right.
shut the fuck up. You're like at 99.5 yards. You're almost there. This should be a celebratory movie, man.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, but no, it's all about like training the new guy. I was like, just leave him the fuck alone. The war's gonna be over in 2 weeks.
Just you should have dunked it. Just dunk the ball.
Just dunk it.
Yep.
Yep.
Don't
Yep.
get fancy.
Fumble it forward. It's not
Yeah.
illegal yet, man.
Yeah. Good dickheads.
So, I know. And then you got, Brad Pitt in there who's just like, I mean, it's like, what are you, like 55 now, man? I mean, Tom Hanks was a bit of a stretch in his movie. So,
Which
Okay.
one?
Saving Private
Saving
Ryan.
Private Ryan. So,
Well,
Because he would be too old to
he'd
have
be
been
too old.
drafted.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He would have had to have been in the army before the whole shit
Yeah,
went down.
yeah.
And, his whole, like, I was an English teacher and I signed up and became a captain of the Rangers kind of thing. It was like, okay, it's fine. All right. It's fine.
It's
all right.
fine.
But if you want to get me nitpicky where I pick out what kind of tanks these are, so that's one of the things that I'm going to point to as well. So
Things that most of us have no clue
it's
about.
fine. So it's a great movie. It's a wonderful movie. So
well, I mean, come on, man. Like that movie is far too good to nitpick for the small details.
I
Because
won't do
I
it.
can,
I won't do it.
There's one thing I can tell you. There's one thing that has always like stuck with me physics wise. I'm like, well, actually, that bullet can't go through his eye from that location. I'm like, but it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, the sniper thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can't happen because physics says it can't.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm absolutely willing to go with this because
It's fine.
I said, damn.
Yeah. Damn.
It's still like the greatest war intro I think I've
Oh yeah.
ever
never gonna be.
seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to top it. I really don't. Because if they try to, it's going to be done with a whole bunch of, it's going to look like fucking Doctor Strange, where
Mm.
they're going to spend $50 million on CGI shit and it's not going to look real. Kind of like if you watch Narcos, there's this,
Narcos.
yeah,
I have not watched
I think
that.
I've seen that.
yeah. So there's this like big shootout at the end, right? I don't remember
That was
why.
the Netflix series?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the weirdest thing they do is instead of just using the squib packs, right? They put in this weird digital blood when people get shot. And it looks
Oh, yeah.
so bizarrely video gamey.
Huh.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you get the blood poof. Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's just like, get the squibs, right? Pull the little, it blows up, right? Blood goes everywhere. Looks great. I mean,
I wonder if they do that so they can take multiple takes without having to redo everybody's costume.
yeah,
I don't know.
You got me.
Yeah.
there's two things that you don't want to put in movies is you don't want to put in digital muzzle flashes and you don't want to put in digital blood.
So I did notice that the other day when I was watching John Wick. So he does a lot of like, I'm shooting you right in your face kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's fake. All right. So, but that's awful bright, man. So it's it's obviously been digitized in there. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to
That movie's
watch.
silly.
Well, they're all silly.
Fourth one?
All of them.
Oh.
So, they're silly.
I think they're all silly.
They're fun to watch, but they're definitely silly.
I think the first one is actually a solid movie from start to finish, right? The subsequent ones are, you know what you're here for.
Oh yeah, you know
Right.
exactly.
You're
what it
Just
is.
start to finish.
Yeah, it is.
There's nothing else in there.
You're here to watch like what was it about? I was like, I don't know. But there are a bunch of people that know who he is and they say, hello, Mr. Wick. And then he gets killed with a book. Right? That's like, all right.
Yeah, they're just like, and this one, I think he's trying to get out. Oh wait, no, no.
Yeah. So they keep saying the obvious. So he's like, no, I'm gonna put the concrete back over the thing, and then 2 minutes later you're back in. It's like, okay,
Right.
cool,
Right.
man, cool.
Right.
I also watched Die Hard the other day too.
The first one?
No, they were doing a Die Hard-a-thon on like fucking TBS or something.
Uh.
So I came in at like the very like last half an hour of the second one. So, which is terrible.
Yeah.
But it's still fun to watch because it's in an airport.
Is that your
It is kind of, yeah. You feel like I have a conveyor belt. I'm on board with that. So, you know.
Dude, I was so disappointed. Like, references that meant something to us are absolutely useless at this point.
Totally
Like,
useless.
I was in a thread where like there was like Russian footage like of the war, and there was like
those are bad, man.
there was like an APC that got blown up.
Mhm.
I said, "Oh my god, the quarterback is toast."
Nobody knew what that was.
Not
a
like
thing.
like 3 old people knew what I meant, but most
Yeah.
people are like,
Nobody.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you
What does
mean?
this mean?
So yeah, no, but I did watch the third one. So
That movie I think
still
stands
like
up.
that movie stands up still
It's
to this
good.
day.
It's fantastic.
So, yeah, it's just it was so much fun to watch. Commercials and all.
You get TBS?
It's on
YouTube
YouTube
TV.
TV.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I get basically cable plus some bonus shit. And then yeah, I can record anything that's on there. So
Gotcha.
even if I'm not watching it, it's just like, hey, scrape this entire show. Like it's still trying to fill in
Yeah.
Seinfeld and The Simpsons. So I mean, it'll take months for me to get them all, but I'll get them all.
Yeah, people don't know they don't know the struggle of waiting for an episode to come back.
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Or
Just that hole in your series.
Jesus, yeah.
There's about a 3-season chunk of Adventure Time that is missing, and it's the good ones. So like 2, 3, and 4, I can't fucking get them to come up, man, because they're on HBO now. So yeah, and Cartoon Network plays it like twice a week, and so I get 2 episodes a week. And I've got all the ones later on when, you know, it got fucking weird and
Slightly metaphysical.
very
yes.
metaphysical and really focused on Marceline, the Vampire Queen, as opposed to Finn and Jake. And I was like, okay, yeah, all right, there's some lesbian thing going on here now, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm good. All right, I want to get back to the, you know, like, dive down the whole adventure, you know? So...
It's what's bizarre is that if you watch it in succession, the journey makes sense.
Okay.
If you watch it in any kind of gap in
It's
between,
fucking weird.
the journey has taken you to a completely different world.
I
Yeah.
was like, what's this goat looking face dude? So that's really important. So, I mean, I figured it out eventually, but
Well, yeah.
yeah, but I don't know his background story because he's in those seasons. So it's like, fuck.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I here's the thing. I absolutely recommend it. Right. I
Right.
do.
Yeah.
I recommend the whole journey.
Yeah.
But you have to take the whole journey.
I know, and
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
waiting
It's-
for
I
it,
get
man.
it. I get
I'm
it.
just sitting here, like, you know, like outside the store, waiting for someone to give me that piece of candy.
But yeah,
It's just like not happening, man. I get to a week, and it's like, oh, I had this one last week. Damn it.
no, I get you. I get you. So like, I can't even imagine what the journey would be like from like Fast and Furious 1 to Fast X.
Yeah, X.
Doesn't Max have like a free week that you could just go in there and
You know, I probably, but I haven't really noticed. So yeah,
Well, I mean, I did
and they
share
would have
the
to play
password.
during that week.
Right.
oh,
So-
you can't just
No,
they'd have it all in their library.
On well,
Max.
if I did that through YouTube, though.
No.
Well,
that-
you
that's
wouldn't
what
be
I'm
able to
saying.
like record it. Well,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
so you mean just sit down and watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of fucking
television,
TV,
man.
man. Yeah, because there's like what 12 seasons of it.
Well, I thought you only
Yeah.
need 3 seasons.
I don't remember what happens. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, well, the you also have to understand that for some of us, the ability to marathon programs, even in one day, dude.
He's
Okay,
in summer vacation.
Yeah, but it's just on in the background. I mean, that's a show that I kind of need to like actually scrape out couch time. So
You don't have couch time right now?
no, I play the computer. So and then it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Television is passive.
television is passive entertainment, man. So that's why I have if I'm gonna watch The Joker, I need to scrape out the 2.5 hours to actually do it. So because otherwise I'm gonna fire up the computer and work on my city or
Okay, so this is
yeah.
why I don't play games, because I'd rather watch stuff than play games.
Yeah. If you had to take something away from me, it would be my TV before my computer. Absolutely.
And that's not even a
That's not even
a
close.
tough question.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's not
even-
like having to choose between my children. It's like
Yeah,
me
this
having
is-
to choose between my kids and yours.
Yeah.
yeah.
TV is like
So
my life. So
right.
This isn't a fucking like Sophie's Choice kind of thing, man. It's
No.
like no,
No.
shoot him.
Sure. Should simple. Yeah.
I've even said I could be stranded on a deserted island as long as I have my TV and it gave me all my shows. Like, I passed the time just fine.
Was it a dessert? What the fuck? Because here's the thing: is like I feel like if I got on a dessert, I feel like there'd be a TV and like a DVD set of like MASH, and it would just piss me off. Like I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, no, I need to
don't
have
wanna
the
watch
shows I want to watch. Yeah,
Right.
that'd be like my personal hell. Like, you wake up and you're like, oh, okay, I'm good, and you're like, no,
Christ, man.
no. Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's only like a couple of things that would be worse. Would be like Rowan and Martin's laughing, or
Well, at least you get to see
Lord.
President Nixon then. So,
I get it, but that is just not for me, right?
no,
I don't need to
the
sit there and
hee-haw,
like
yeah.
I don't need to watch Hee Haw. It's some show with like Pigmeat Markham on it. I don't need to
Right.
watch fucking yeah, again,
It
like
would be
some
all woke
bullshit
shows for
comedies.
you.
Yeah, it just like
You'd have what, the new Cleopatra and
Oh gosh.
oh,
yeah.
ethnic
All they
shows.
did
that,
was
that
give
would
me,
be
like,
that
yeah.
would be all you'd get.
All you got was
I get
Amazon's
that,
library
and
from the last
fucking,
2
like,
years.
Dear White People, and I get
Right.
I get the what is it called, like the bullshit of the rings or whatever that they have now on Amazon. It's just
Yeah.
Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
I get like Rings
Which I
of
watched
Power.
exactly one half of an episode.
Yeah, I get that.
Actually, I think I did watch the whole thing.
Did you?
The whole first episode, or
No,
the
the
whole
first
series?
episode. No, I did
Oh,
not watch
okay.
I
it.
gotta say, you told me that you didn't make it all the way through that.
I don't think I did. Yeah.
Yeah, and fucking like Big Bang Theory and like
I was good with that. I watched that one.
I can think of.
I don't
worse
know if
things
I'd
to
watch
torture
that
myself
now,
with.
but-
Yeah. So
and they'd give me like fucking like those CW like Arrow and Flash shows.
Those aren't bad.
Bullshit.
As long as
Fucking
it's not like
Supergirl and
whatever their Teen Titans one is.
and the show about like the yeah
They
there's
have a
that.
Teen Titans one that I tried to watch one episode, and I was just like, what the hell? What is
Yeah.
going on here?
And that fucking show about the autistic doctor and yeah, I can't remember what it's called. You see clips of it where he's
House.
no
That was
this is
I think I know what show you're talking about. I
the
never
Good
even-
Doctor, I think it's called. I
Is
think
it?
that's what it is. Yeah, where he's a surgeon and he's autistic, so he sees like fucking numbers in his head, and then they draw them on the screen.
Yeah, I never watched that.
Like another show where they treat autism like it's a fucking superpower.
That was The Accountant.
Oh yeah.
It was worth watching once. I was entertained for.
So stupid.
I
man.
mean, the
It's like-
premise is ridiculous, but yeah.
like, do you want to be invisible or become a rock monster, or do you want to have like autism? And it's like, stop doing this. Stop doing this show. Stop doing this exact same show. It's the same shit where you're like, the tropes where it's like, yes, little kids can, flip kick dinosaurs onto a fence.
Oh,
God,
that
stop
was
with the
on
little
today.
kids saving the day
Wait,
shit.
which one's that?
That's the second one. But
Jurassic
actually,
Park,
I was
yeah.
watching.
Oh,
Dominion was on today, so that's the second to the last one, right?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right, so it's just like TVS was on because of my marathon yesterday, or whatever, and so they were doing that today, fucking dinosaurs, and so I get up and turn that on.
You know, I can go shoot a dinosaur.
Huh?
I can shoot a dinosaur.
You can?
Yeah, at the Air Force Academy.
Really?
He does archery now. He
Yeah.
actually has a job class.
Where did they
He's
get you
like,
the
we need him in our
dinosaurs?
party.
They have full-size, like, people-sized dinosaurs that you can shoot that are like 3D model, like 3D versions of it. And you can actually
with
go...
archery.
Yeah.
So, can you bring guns?
No.
No.
To an archery range? No.
Well,
They don't even let you bring crossbows.
Oh. Oh, that's true. It is on the academy, so they wouldn't let you do that.
Yeah, he
Pretty
actually he has a place in our party now. We need like a spellcaster.
Yeah.
Archer always was a class. Every one of the games.
How are you at healing?
Not very good, but I play a pretty mean loot. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's thieves.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's
I'm
a bard
I'm
basically.
going to be a bard.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Right, because you're practically tone deaf. That's exactly the.
It'll be perfect. You guys bravely ran away. Bravely ran away. Bravely turned your tails and fled. So
You're just talking.
that's
You're
as
supposed
good
to
as I
sing
can
it.
do, yeah.
I don't want to listen to like slam poetry on our fucking like.
Yeah, there's no lecture.
Yeah, this is a musical lecture.
Musical lecture. Yeah.
Should try that for your one class.
Right, yeah, try and wrap all my lectures.
See how much the information sticks in.
I will get fired.
Yeah, you need the hat with the feather in it and all that other stuff. And,
Right.
Yeah.
I think I could play a chord. Yeah. So
You need the water wizard for that.
he's definitely our wizard. So
He's
yeah.
not a caster.
Come on, man. He specializes in elemental magic. So
But he also plays
but
he plays the guitar.
see,
he could
okay,
be-
yeah, that would be
he's-
his job,
yeah.
but he would have to do it from. I feel like he's given his life to like mountain biking.
They don't have a class.
you know, yeah.
That's his steed.
Steve,
It has
yeah,
pedals.
It has pedals. Yeah,
The
he
rest of
plays
us
a
is
mounted
walk.
class. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, somebody's gonna actually need to hit something. You guys know that, right?
That's you. So you get to go tank for us, man. So
Great.
That's true.
yeah.
That is what all your training
yeah,
is
that's
about.
all your training about. We'll hook you up with some cardboard armor or something. So, yeah. Just to kind of soften the edge.
You gotta understand, like we're starting out here. We're fighting like woodchucks and stuff first.
We're gonna fight a
Right.
lot of woodchucks
Yeah.
until we level up. It's gonna take a while. So before we go take on that first desert Ethiopia and get our ass
Right.
beat.
I don't even know. Like, what would be our first like thing that we have to take? What would be our first actual quest in this modern realm? That would be like those fucking Texas pigs.
Yeah, probably go clean out the pigs. So
Do we have anything more local that would be a
probably prairie
nuisance?
dogs? You have to go out east and shoot prairie dogs.
That's your starter
So,
stuff.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
You get like 2 XP for each.
and
one.
I have to tank. So just swinging at them.
You're like trying to grab them and
Yeah.
squeeze their head.
Well, remember your number one skill is to taunt, so you bring them out of the hole. So
Well,
they
no.
start biting you, and we'll clean them off. Yeah.
I still have to like do physical damage. So like,
You should start punching the hole.
like give me okay. So I'm just like out there like going to prairie dogs with my Leeville slugger or like a 9-iron.
Well, you can use a blunt weapon, or you can.
Right.
We can go get you a fireman's axe or something.
A
So,
pipe.
pipe.
Yeah.
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 There you
A
go.
chain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're trying to bullseye fucking prairie dogs, and he's just like speaking verse
Yeah.
to music,
There you go. That's the modern game.
and the wizard is supposed to be casting spells from his mountain bike.
I think this would be a hit.
I think it's gonna be. Yeah. We got the makings of a movie here.
I'm thinking,
Yeah. It started as a video game, but
I'm thinking that somewhere out near Ellicott, our bodies are rotting in an unmarked grave.
Well, yeah. When you ignore the violent trespassers, will be shot on sight. You know.
And well, we died from like
Rabies.
no, we died from COVID.
We don't have a healer, man.
Actually, that's a good question. Was rabies one of the things you could die of in Oregon Trail? I don't think
In
it
Oregon
was.
Trail? I don't think
Yeah.
so.
No, I wasn't.
Because
Because
I feel like I would have remembered that.
Yeah.
foam all over your teeth and your
Or it would just say like Pat has died, and then yeah,
Rabies.
yeah. It's like, why were you?
I actually
petting
saw a
that?
TikTok video of a guy with rabies the other day. It's fucking terrifying.
It's scary.
It's
Yeah.
horrifying, yeah. So and it's like 100% fatal. So if it gets to a certain point,
Oh,
you're fucking dead. So it's going to kill you.
I have to take Winnie to get a rabies shot.
But
I just
you-
got notified.
Did you get chomped?
No, I just got notified
Oh.
at a certain time. It's like, oh, okay.
I had a student once who got rabies. So she said it was awful. You have to take like these shots in your
In your
stomach.
stomach, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. She wasn't making that up, huh?
I don't know. That's what I
Oh.
just always was told as a kid.
My understanding is that the number of shots has come down
That's
because
good.
it used to be like 19.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
No.
I was dreading it. The dog was hanging from my
Oh,
arm.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. You had a concern. That's right.
Well, listen,
you did have a
You have to
rabies
go
scare.
find the dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, I can tell it from their backyard. I don't know.
Yeah, it used to be like 19 to 21 shots in the stomach.
I think it was, like,
And then
21
it's like come down quite a bit, and I think you can get them in the arm now.
You take a pill. No, I don't
Right,
know.
yeah.
Yeah. That's-
Take 2 of these and call me in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, go ahead and eat like 3 of these rabies Flintstones chewables.
They give you
And,
gummies.
yeah. And finally, that's what CBD is good for.
Right, yeah, cures rabies. So
It's gotta fucking do something. Yeah.
yeah, you know, we had that discussion about that shit last week, and I don't know, my phone's got to be listening to it because it was like 2 days later, sitting there just doing the doom scrolling while I'm taking a shit. Sure enough, man, it started like telling me all this like benefits of like CBD and
Oh, it's
all these
totally
new studies out there and stuff. I was like, you're listening to me, aren't you, asshole? So, you know, if there's anything that my phone can give me an opportunity to disagree with, it's going to try. So, anymore.
It 100% listens because it straight up brings up stuff. You get new emails. You get
Yeah.
all sorts of things.
The only thing that I get, like, I don't get the listening thing. Like, I still get emails from QAura, and it's all about the stuff that I looked for a long time ago.
Oh,
Well, like, my girlfriend and I were talking about blueberry muffins and making blueberry muffins, and that was at my house. And then she was at her house, and then all of a sudden she's getting recipes for blueberry muffins.
Did you guys, like, look up recipes
No.
or talk about it? Did any of you even,
It
like,
was
search for it?
great conversation.
Yeah.
see, that's happened to me though, where I've like,
Oh, that's right. I don't.
I actually did
talk.
look something up. Yeah.
That's right.
What, when you're home by yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I talk to myself all the time. So,
Maybe you can't decipher all the stupid shit I say to my dog.
oh, maybe you're like a special language.
Well,
Do you carry your phone with you everywhere, or do you just put
Pretty
it like
much.
somewhere in your house? And
no, I carry it with me.
Okay.
Yeah, well, because usually it's like playing something I can listen to, or watching like a video on it. Like, so
maybe you can't do it when it's playing something.
could be, but I mean, again, that's so it's the same stupid shit. I do this to your dog too. Is whenever I see a dog, even this one, right? I always act surprised, and whatever it's doing is like the best thing ever. So it's like, oh, who's been doing some barking? Oh, I'm happy for you. It's like, who's this dog? Who's a good dog? Oh, she's good. So like,
Although all the random stuff we talk about here, we should be getting.
yeah,
some
we should
really
very
wackadoo.
specific stuff, and it's never come up with like, who's this dog? It
Yeah.
never says this dog is, or like answered my questions, or come up with like, does your dog, feel bored or anything like that? No, that's because that's all I talk about.
I think most of mine are related to my searches.
I
So,
guarantee you mine are.
Yeah, I mean, but there are times where
But you do
It's
have
just
that
got this
Alexa at your
uncanny-
house.
We do.
oh, you have an Alexa.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she has Google at her house.
Oh dear.
I think you're in a different.
No, I have.
Yeah.
We both have Google. I don't have Alexa.
Oh, okay. Well, what
So
is
we
that?
both
The
have
Google.
And
Nest or
Pods or
There's a name for it. It's not. It's not. Yeah, it's Amazon Alexa, and it's
yeah, Amazon.
Google.
isn't it Nest?
Nest
Nest
is
is
the
something different,
thermostat.
Yeah.
I thought that was all system. So
Like you can control your Nest with it. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, okay.
But it's
Okay.
it has a name. It's like Google.
I have no. I know they have.
Google Home, I think.
Ooh, yeah, that might be.
Is that it?
It's like putting a buck on a buck.
Wrote that down. Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have the Google Doc
Yeah,
or something
we've
like that.
we both have it at our house. I would have never gotten it, but Kelly.
Because that thing is listening to you
And-
because it's going to ask you for that stuff.
Yeah.
But this
Oh,
stupid
man.
thing is not like, this guy talks about his dog.
I don't like that shit in my house.
I don't either, but kids liked it once we've
Yeah.
had it, and now.
Well, yeah, you're in cybersecurity now. You should know.
Oh,
man.
it's.
Like, I
it's
don't have any
whatever.
cameras in my house anymore, so like internal ones.
Oh, I got the one so I can see the kids on our work.
I get the one that's at the front door, so I mean, if someone
Well,
bashes
yeah, I got
in one of
the
my
front
back doors, that's fine, I guess.
But I can see if my kids are being worthless or actually getting their stuff done.
I figure like my family's on their own recognizance when I'm not there, so
I'm always here.
right.
I am the camera.
I'm kind of at home a lot too. Yeah, I don't actually go out of the house that often. So
And if like somebody rings my doorbell, yeah, I grab a pipe. I'm like,
you got a pipe?
yeah, I do. It's
Oh, okay.
it's
So if someone rings my doorbell, I just by default don't answer it unless I ordered a pizza and know it's coming. So
well, even pizzas, I tell them just leave it and go.
oh,
Okay, so question: what would you guys do if groceries showed up at your house and you didn't order them?
groceries?
Yeah.
I'd look for a receipt or something and try to.
Yeah, I would ask them. You know,
They don't have receipt.
they usually don't leave a
They
receipt,
don't. They don't
Yeah.
leave names on it.
so just left them there.
Yep.
I don't. Obviously, I'm not going to leave them there. That's where you get ants.
That's true.
Do you make a trip to Walmart? Do you call Walmart?
Oh,
Do you
so they
keep
the
stuff?
store is labeled.
Yeah, it came
So
from
the
Walmart.
type of bags. Okay.
Well, you
so-
don't know that it came from Walmart delivery though. It could have been like DoorDash or Instacart or something.
Something, but yeah,
Yeah, I think
because it
they-
was left at my house,
So
and
my
I got there
understanding,
the next day,
Oh.
and I'm like, well,
Well, if
they've
it's,
either
the,
gotten free stuff.
if it's the next day, there's nothing you do. Just take
No,
it
there's
in and
nothing you
salvage
can
what you
do.
can. Yeah.
Well, and on top of that, like I've gotten shit that I didn't order with Instacart, and there's been a couple times where I was like, "Hey, man, I didn't get this," and so I put that in
yeah.
the comments. They're like, "Don't worry about it," you know. The
They
way
just refund you.
they just they
Yeah.
so if you order something you don't get it, they refund you, okay? Or if
well,
you
they credit you actually.
they credit you, and if you order something, they give you something extra. So they don't want it back. So they're like, okay,
Right.
fine,
Well, because
fuck
it's
it.
like you touched it.
Right, yeah. It's like,
Oh,
you didn't
right,
buy
right,
eggs.
right.
You know?
Look, man, that's a crime. They're like fucking TikTok videos
Oh,
of
I
people
know. Or
like,
people licking ice cream.
it's like,
So,
oh, fuck you. That's actually a
fuck off.
crime.
I know. So yeah, it's like TikTok is a cesspool, man. So
I agree.
It bleeds over.
It brings
into
out
my
the absolute worst of humanity.
absolute worst. in
Attention
people.
at any cost.
any cost.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I routinely have to go through and like on my YouTube feed because my Shorts feed will get flooded with stuff where people post everything on both. So
Yeah.
they do it on YouTube Shorts and they do it on TikTok. So
Right.
you can always tell because it's got a little TikTok thingy down there.
Yeah,
So
The watermark.
the
Yeah.
watermark. Yeah, and it's just like nope, block. Don't show me more like this. So, you know, it's like I don't need to see any more fucking challenges. I don't need any more Mr. Beast on here. I like you, dude, but stop it. So, you know,
I do like Mr. Beast.
I like him too.
I
but
don't know him. I don't.
He's getting a little weird now, man. He's like, oh, how many trains can we crash together? It's like, I thought,
Really?
Yeah, I thought, like, man, aren't you giving stuff away for free
Yeah,
for
that was
people? So,
Well, does that train crash and convert into like for every train car?
no,
you
it was just
destroy-
for funsies. So, yeah.
huh.
So it's like I'm gonna take all this money that I made and crash things together. So for
Like,
a video,
It's his
I did
money.
not
I'm
know
not
he
gonna
was
fight
doing
him on
I'm
that.
not gonna fight him on that either. But at the same point in time, if I don't want to see that, I'm okay.
Well, how would you feel? I mean, the dude is at this point. I know of him. I know of his philanthropy, and I know that there are people who are somehow mad at him for that.
That is weird. Yeah. So the whole thing about deaf. So you know, like actually hooking people up with, you know, basically a treatment that gets like 99% cure rate on it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh well, this guy was, you know, what is it? It's congenitally deaf. You know, and so it's like you're actually. So I saw this really good interview the other day. You know, Michael Schellenberger. So, He's
Where
one of
did I know
the
him
he's one of the 3 Twitter files guys. He's the last guy.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, I've been watching him for years, and so ever since he wrote this great book on San Francisco a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you wanted to talk to me about that.
Mhm. Oh yeah, I should go back and listen to that book. Yeah.
But, all right. Anyway,
But anyway, he did this great speech the other day at that university they're starting up in Texas.
PragerU.
No.
The campus.
Now live.
An actual physical location.
An actual physical location. Come see Sarah Palin. You know? Excuse me, that's Professor Palin.
Oh my God.
Y'all.
They're gonna make like Lauren Boebert like an associate dean.
Oh, I got that wrong the other day too. I thought that Lauren Boebert called Marjorie Taylor Greene a bitch.
Nope, it's the other way around.
Yeah, I got that one backwards,
No,
man. So I have
I
to
told you that.
apologize to Lauren Boebert because I don't think she's a bitch. I do think Marjorie Taylor Greene's a bitch. So I was getting ready to agree with her. So, so I'm sorry, Miss Boebert, if you're listening. So
No, I told you. I was like, no, she called her a bitch
yeah, but I
for
didn't.
something really stupid.
It
too.
was.
Yeah.
So, but I saw the story the next day, and I realized that I had jacked up, who the referent was in the pronoun there. So, but anyway. So anyway, he's making this whole argument that there's like this. So in San Francisco, they spend like 10 times more than just about any city on homeless shelters and prevention and stuff like that. And so, yet they have this problem that is so like head and shoulders worse than anything, like Seattle. So they had all these stories where, certain parts of the media were screaming bloody murder because the Seattle Police Department's basically going through with boots and chains to clean the place up because the All-Star game. So, yeah, tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Well, I think the home run derby's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, actually, I should go watch that. So, but anyway. I always like watching that. It's fun. So, but anyway. So he's talking about this whole thing about the culture of care, and there's this thing where you have to keep the victim in victim status. Yes, and so it was just a really good argument that I hadn't heard enunciated as concisely as he had done. I've heard people poke around the edges on that one, but he was like, yeah, so you got to have somebody to take care of, and so really when it comes down to it, it's about making sure that people who don't want to get better don't have to get better, so you have somebody to take care of.
Correct.
And I was like, wow, that's really fucked up. And so that's the whole Mr. Beast thing. So, with like, oh, I'm curing deaf people. It's like, I'm deaf caretaker. It's like, well, there's one less that you have to worry about now. Isn't that cool?
Well,
no.
well, because there's two parts of that. There's two parts of the. Forgive me, I'm not going to use what they prefer to be called, but basically like the disabled community, because I'm just gonna say it's a disability, right?
Yeah, sure.
Where there are a group of people that look at people who get like the cochlear implants that right, and they'll say, no, you were born deaf.
Yeah.
You are basically like you're selling out. You're
I'm sorry, you were born a woman, so
well, to me, I'm like, okay, so
you're selling out.
It's no, it's the same shit where they're like the same thing goes with like people who have like they're missing a hand or something. They're like, we don't want you to get the robot hand. It's like
they're fucking cool.
I was like fuck you guys.
Yeah, no
I'm like,
kidding.
I'm getting the robot hand. Fuck you. I'm getting the like. Here's an extra sense. Like if somebody said to me, like if I just had normal eyesight, right? And they said like, if you go ahead and take this small thing, and it said like, you could actually have like super duper sight, so you could like shift, like you'd have like predator vision, like you shift between like
infrared and
some of the targeting system.
They said like, well, you're selling out your regular eyesight. I'm like, sell it out. That's fine.
Oh man, there's some really heartwarming videos out there. This one guy's, he's this guy, and he'll go around. He's like developed these glasses that correct certain spectrums of color blindness.
Oh,
have you seen it? They're amazing, dude. Because he'll just give them to people who suffer from this thing. He makes them and shit or something like that.
They'll show them the thing with the dots, and they'll be like, I finally see a number 6.
Right. Exactly. So,
oh my god, it's been there the whole time.
But he'll give these glasses to people who've like never seen the sky. It's always been gray, and they like their expression is
They
just
cry.
it's
Yeah,
amazing.
It's like,
so it's like, why the fuck wouldn't you want that for somebody? Come on,
no,
man.
because you were born colorblind.
Yeah. So I don't get it.
And people who are saying that he was using your money irresponsibly, it's like, you're not helping the people we want you to help. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Oh, Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like,
It's his money. He can do whatever he wants with it.
oh, and the classic argument is like, well, he's only doing this to be popular. Like, I don't care why he does it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. It's nothing to
Obviously,
do-
the world likes that you're helping people.
Oh my god.
except for the people who don't, who are like, you're just doing it to be popular. It's like, but $100 million made it to people that need help. Who cares why you do it?
Oh yeah.
And if all these people want to watch the fact that you're doing something
Yeah.
good, like that should say, hey, people aren't going to go watch a car wreck right now. They took the time to watch this guy do something cool for people that, whether it's a competition or whatever it is, or however it is, like.
And as a man that enjoys watching car wrecks, no, that's fine. Like, that's my dad talking. It's like cool, but yeah, it's to see somebody actually doing something productive, and I'm gonna try and find the downside of it. It's not like, okay, if his charity was like,
Oh boy,
boy,
you could go down a whole bunch of paths here.
I could have my arguments. I could say like, or if he was like, say for example, if you were actually saying like, well, I think I'm doing good, and I've been funneling money to BLM, right? Like, that's a crooked ass organization, right? I could have my problems with that. I could say like, you should donate this somewhere else. You're just putting another like story on that bitch's house.
Well, there's a lot of charities like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't you say like Susan G. Komen was
Susan
like
G.
the
Komen
fucking,
turned out
like,
to be corrupt as shit. So the other one, and this is exceptionally unpopular among certain crowds, but there is actually some really bad shit out there about Wounded Warrior Project. Oh, I know, man. And when I bring that up in front of people, oh my god, they get mad. And it's just like, well, go read the shit, man. So,
same thing goes with mermaids.
right, yeah.
Wait, what?
So,
What is mermaids? I don't even know.
A mermaid is a pro-trans,
Oh, gotcha.
crooked as shit, fucking
yeah.
evil to the bloody core organization. But yeah, that's
They're out of England too, aren't they?
yeah, because I
Yeah.
don't think they're allowed to do that. They're either there or Canada. I feel like they may be.
Oh,
Canada.
it might be Canada.
Yeah,
Dude, Canada's weird.
Canada's fucked, man. They got problems. So does France.
I don't. Yeah,
I've been reading more on
I've been
France?
reading a little bit more on France, man. So, but again, I don't understand how their constitution works. But I mean, here in the United States, I think if the police told the president what to do, he'd tell him to fuck off.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So, but in France, apparently the president says, well, we should listen to the police. So, and someone pointed that out. I was like, well, France is a little bit bigger than, Texas and Oklahoma. And so,
Yeah.
if basically you had a nationalized police force, so you had both state patrols, then those were all your local cops too. Not like the United States where it's all separate.
Right.
It's like, yeah, they're a little bit more powerful, because, you don't have quite as many Roscoes and Enuses out there.
But you need those.
But
You actually
those.
need the divisions of
You
those
do need the
to keep
divisions
this
between
actual
those,
place
yeah.
in check.
Yeah.
Because think about the terrifying way that things would run things. If basically we had one group of cops
Yeah.
all the way from the top, and they're just deployed in the States,
This is
and a military.
This is why I hate the fucking Department of Fatherland Security, man, because it's
Yeah.
basically the bones behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem. So,
I think our saving grace is that we actually have so many subdivisions that occasionally cops arrest other cops. And you know what? I think that's good.
oh, did you see that guy in Orlando get nicked? So,
Which guy?
the guy who was speeding like 60 and a 20 or something like that, trying to get to work in a marked cop car, but he didn't have his shit on it, so the sheriff tried to pull him over. He told the sheriff to fuck off.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I saw that follow-up story on that one yesterday. Someone's looking for a job.
It's not the way it used to be, though, because, I mean, anytime that you recorded, like, the quickest way to end your political career is to say, do you know who I am? Because
I remember that guy.
fucking, like, the King Boss tried to do that.
He did. Didn't Dr. Bounty Hunter try and do that once? So he tried to pull the shit that he was a cop in Hawaii or something. So he
Well,
goes,
speaking, that was the funniest place where I saw how they handle the homeless problem in Hawaii.
yeah, they ship him back to L.A.
No. So Hawaii has, like, you know all about this here too. Like, they've got this the woods, right? And then you have like the touristy part of the islands and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So they come out during the day, right? But basically, the government takes the homeless people and they pay them to go into the woods at night, so they don't disrupt all the touristy crap.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, that's your way of solving the problem.
I'm kind of a fan of the L.A. way now, man. But they just show up with dump trucks. So, I mean, they've been cleaning that place out like crazy. Same thing with Seattle the last couple days.
Well, I mean, that's the
yeah.
when you break it down. I mean, that's
dump truck.
really...
You just put them in the dump truck.
You take all their shit and throw it away.
You thought that
Yeah.
people.
I don't know.
Like,
what the hell?
So I know I have my ways of. It's like, all right, so this is the incinerator. Either leave or you go in it, right?
Well, at
Well,
work,
they don't do that.
at work, some of the guys came up with that. You basically, if you're homeless, then your organs are up to be harvested.
Jesus
So
Christ!
It's
you're
worse.
really gonna not want to be
That's
homeless.
actually what the Nazis did. So, if you didn't know that. Yeah.
They harvested organs.
Fuck yeah, they did.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So, yeah.
I mean, they were obviously joking. I think.
yeah, I hope so, man.
But-
So,
Who, them or the Nazis? Because I think they were serious.
Nazis are serious, yeah. Well, that happens in China today. So, if you're homeless there, they nab you and take your kidney. So
Yeah, well, to them, and they're like, we don't have poverty. I was like, no shit, you have donors. That's what the
Damn.
fuck, man.
it's awful, man. So
I
no, I mean,
I didn't know that really was going on.
oh yeah,
Well, this is the
Jesus.
shit. Like,
China's bad, man. It's that's a rabbit hole that Jeff and I went down that I think I've mined down as far as my stomach can take.
there's a part of it that says like, you people live like this. Actually, the thing that always gets to me is it's still every time I see these things, and it's still just there are so many of you there and so little government in comparison.
It's tiny.
You guys should have eaten them by now.
Well, I mean, it's still 100 million out of what, a 1.4 billion, so it's not insignificant.
No,
So-
but the factor is enough.
And they're the
where-
guys with the guns. So
I know,
they are the guys with the guns.
I know, but
Yeah.
still, that's enough of you where it's like, you can topple this. It just,
I don't think they want to.
but that's
So,
the
yeah,
problem I
I don't
have
think they
is,
want
is
to.
there's a complicitness that comes along with,
Mhm.
you guys are kind of guilty because you don't do anything.
Well, the Russians are kind of in the same boat. I saw a lot of shit on that the last 2 weeks about how there's a lot of folks in Russia who just don't give a fuck. So about politics, they're like, whatever, so some asshole's going to be in charge, whatever. Regardless, I got to go to work tomorrow. And so that's your prevailing
know,
attitude.
I
So
know.
like here in the United States, everybody's like, what the fuck did the president do today? Blah, 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 blah. And there's nothing you can do about it for 4 years. So, or now for a year and a half. So,
Well, so, yeah, so
You
we
know.
have these normal cycling points,
Right.
where in theory you can do something about that, and if that's not fast enough, we have other ways to settle
you
that.
can get on Twitter. Yeah, you can get mad on Twitter.
Well, I mean, eventually, like,
So yeah, okay. So yeah, we can launch investigations and things like that. Blah blah.
there's
blah.
still recourse.
there is,
But the
obviously
natural recourse is like, well, give this guy his term and then decide.
Yeah.
This is like what I've said about marriages. It's just like, yeah, you get married, okay, you sign an initial contract of X amount of years, right? And every so I think you start at like 1, right? Just to give it, fair.
Just to test it out.
Yeah, and then after 1 year, the two of you have to decide if you want to re-up, right?
You can do that anyway.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. It's just like instead of like full, this is faultless. If you decide after 1 year you don't want to be like, it's like, all right, that's fine.
Divorces can be
Yeah.
faultless. In fact, they are in this
Yeah.
state. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like it's not something where you have to, because of event or whatever, you can just wait out the year, right? You don't have to create drama. You can just say like, all right, well, we're not going to re-up, and then you decide it's like every 5 years you double check. It's like, do you
So
guys?
it's an opt-in, not an opt-out thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, that wouldn't work.
That's fine. And both parties have to decide if they
Yeah.
want to continue going with this, and if they don't, then that's
I've
fine.
known people who've done that.
I think that's
So,
totally fine. And
yeah,
it's the same thing
known
with the
people have done
president,
that.
where it's like, all right, the term's up, 4 years. Do you want to continue for a maximum of 2?
Well, that's what we do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a
Yeah.
good thing. I think marriages should work the same way.
Well, some of them do. So,
No, legally.
you can write a marriage contract that way.
No, the marriage contract should be that.
You can write it however you want it. So, yeah.
No, everyone.
Oh no, I wouldn't want
Yeah.
Why
that.
would you want to make that everyone? If somebody
Why?
wants to choose for life and you're cool with that,
Yeah.
why do you have to go through a re-up?
Well, all right. The reason I say that is because
Because then you're still gonna have to have like divorce lawyers and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff. 'cause
you
you're
will.
still splitting everything.
Nah, gotta
that's,
split
that's,
your
that's,
stuff.
that's already like that's
What if you buy a house during that year?
Yeah.
that's just part of the paperwork. That's just part of the initial
Who
like.
gets the house?
Huh?
And
can't
then
saw
if
it
you
in
have
half.
kids in the middle and
You can't saw them in half.
yeah, you're still gonna have like there's no difference except that you don't have like that 3-month waiting period like filing divorce papers.
Okay? So you have to grant me my totalitarian overhaul.
Oh yeah. So we're going back to the schools here. Yeah.
Right.
You
So
log.
Yeah,
if you're
the
gonna
gulags.
let me do this, then you have to let me set the full conditions here.
What do you do about kids?
What about them?
They become wards of the state. They go to the highest bidder.
Like you just like flicked your finger and were like, oh yeah, that's all paperwork. It's all done.
Well, yeah. So basically, the conditions would essentially be like the same, like, but they're set and actually set. The need for
What's the
like,
purpose behind this?
well, basically, so
Just to
it's
give people more options down the road?
no, it's basically so that people don't feel necessarily coerced or feel like they can't or anything like this. This is something
Do
where,
people really feel that way?
yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like that people would get married just for like shits and giggles.
That happens, and there are some
It
people
does
who
happen.
overthink it too. There's people
There's
that
definitely people who
yeah. There's that. There's all sorts of people. There's all sorts of people that feel. There are people that feel like they're trapped in it. There are people that feel like look.
Yeah, but it's not as binding as you think it is, man. So I mean, you know,
Basically,
I'm divorced.
yeah, it's not this permanent thing, man. And I mean, it's not like, you know, some blood oath that, you know, we're gonna extract our pound of flesh from you.
no.
So, you know, and I mean, anybody can opt out of it at any time already. So, I
No.
mean,
Okay. No, I got what you're saying. All right, but let me put it to you this way. This is the best way I can explain it. Is all right. So let's say that you wake up one morning and your side hurts.
okay.
Okay. And you don't know what it is. You're just like, all right, I don't know. I worked out too hard. I did something. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So the next day, your side still hurts, but because you're used to it, it hurts a little bit less.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. 4 weeks down the road, you're just living with it. Okay.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's just a pain that you're used to.
Mhm.
Right. The whole reason behind this is to at least get you to think once a year, once every 5
Yeah.
years about like, okay, let me at least evaluate whether I want to stay in this or not instead of saying I just live with it. It's just what life is.
But if one person allowed to not sign it and then it's done, like
Yeah. Because both people should want to stay in it.
there's a lot more put into things than just
I get it.
one person feeling the whim to be like, you know what? The secretary's really hot. I think I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
You
the-
really pissed me off last week. Oh, it's
and
re-up.
it's
week this
re-up
week. Fuck
time?
you. Yeah, you know. I don't know, man. I understand your sentiment on this one. So I would say that any good relationship, people actually do that anyway. So,
I agree.
yeah.
Just generally speaking, but you got to remember, we're taking this from a perspective of people we know who generally like. I'm not saying that people aren't capable of mistakes or anything like that, but
Of course
I
they
know that you guys are. All of you are critical thinkers to one end or another. But there's a lot of people that are just like, well, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, sure.
And at least every now and then you're taking the time to think about it, because for most of you, it's not going to be a problem. You're like, you want to stay married? It's like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, not a problem. But for some people, it's like, all right, you know what? I did take the chance to think about it, and I'm tired of getting hit, or I'm tired of.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm saying. It's just like I've thought about it, and
you know, I don't see like if it ever got that bad to that point. I mean, it's not like there's not already recourse for that. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You know,
I know
you
what you're
just
saying.
have like a re-up every couple of years. You know, like it's I don't know. I have very different views on marriage than most people. So anymore. Um,
Go
but
on.
well, I think people should get married before they're 25. So I really do.
And like that's it.
Either 25 or over 40. So you either got to be like nobody and you have no identity and you have to build an identity with somebody else, or you're two independent and completely separate people who decide to basically make a merger of households later on.
15 years of
Bro, just after
Wait,
watching
I'm crazy?
all my friends and all the people that I know who like they're fucking all their shit got really fucked up. It was in that decade, man. So I don't know. I don't think it should be banned or anything like that. Just like abortion, I'm against abortion. I don't think it should be illegal. I don't think it should be illegal for people to get married at that age. I just think anybody who's going to get married at that age should be really careful, and they could probably benefit from your program.
huh. Interesting.
Look, here's the thing: is
I've seen a lot of marriages get.
I'm going to say, like, in principle, I agree with everything that you say, especially like in terms of statistics,
Yeah.
right? I can also point
Well, that's
to
the math too. So.
well, it's the math, and the other thing I can point to, like a lot of that has to do with specifically the male brain, right?
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
I don't mean this in a negative way, but
No,
Patrick,
male brain's retarded until you're 25.
well,
So,
all right.
You know,
So,
so if you're gonna get in, get in.
well, so let me put this to you, Patrick. What is the greatest percent? What is the greatest demographic of males in prison? What are their ages?
Oh, they're young. Yeah.
About
18 to
25.
18 to 25.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
So, I mean, there's a part of me that says, like, don't make that decision before 25 because
I don't know.
that's
man.
when your brain wants to cause the most trouble.
Or that's when you get
That-
swept up in stuff
that-
super easy.
Yeah.
That's when you're forming your identity, and if you form your identity as a married man early on, you're probably gonna stick with it for a long time. So
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also like the problem is the same thing as like
I don't think.
when you get swept up in something hard, you usually get kicked out of something hard because you're like
that's true too.
like if you're like I really loved Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right? There's a or whatever, right? I'm just but when you fall out of love with
Yeah.
it, you fall out hard. You don't
Yep.
have a graceful
That's true.
exit, right?
That's true.
Instead of coming to terms with like
Well, no, you don't like burn your Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They just end up sitting in a corner.
you
and
get
never like
embarrassed. No,
Yeah.
there's a shame that comes along with it because instead of like taking it and saying like, all right, so I collected so hard at this point, right? I got way into it. Instead of like tapering off and saying like, well, you know, I can still play the game. That's still fun. There's this like totally, it's like a phase. It's like, so I remember dressing like a goth kid for 2 weeks, but you don't look about it and say like, well, I can just wear the boots because I like those. You look at the whole phase as like, that was an embarrassment. And that's the shit that happens in those early years because you go in so hard, right? And then when you leave that hobby or that interest or whatever, you're like, oh boy, that was.
I wasn't ever embarrassed about my things that I just got over and did something else. It just went in the corner and just sat there.
You know, and for a lot of people, I'm sure that's true. But there's a lot of people that when they look at their embarrassing things that they got really into, right? It was in that time period. I don't know a whole lot of like 40-year-old people who are like, industrial music is my thing, right? And that's not to say that I don't like it because I do, but I mean, like, there's no part of it where they don't hit it with the same, like, fucking, like, let me ruin my hair with this shit.
This is
Let
like
me...
anti-war message is totally different now. You know, it was so tame back then.
It's like,
oh my God, George W. Bush and the New World Order. It was like, bro, wait 10 years, bro. Just wait.
that's what I'm talking about. Is you don't have that like 10-year like wait period. Right?
I don't think too many people. So like I can only speak for myself and a couple other people that I know on this one, but like I'm on year 24 now, going on year 23 now, and the only thing that I regret is that we didn't have kids probably about 5 years earlier. So Yeah. So I mean,
But that wasn't entirely by choice, was it?
it was my wife's choice. So absolutely it was.
Oh, I thought
So
there were- oh,
no, she was fine.
Oh, okay.
No, she was fine. Yeah,
Oh.
no. Now, like, I have like 5 kids now. So, but cancer saw to that. So,
You would have that many kids?
fuck yeah, we would. Yeah, we after the first one, we just keep going. I didn't realize kids are as fucking cheap as they are. So,
Well, some.
And it's cheap?
dude, I don't know like what kind of like. I mean, like my
Well,
daughter
okay.
is so.
I'm talking time and stuff too. Like,
Oh yeah, I don't do much of that. I'm not a very good dad.
Yeah, but also like
5? Oh
So-
man.
that
Yeah.
if you had 5, then odds are one of them would be like needing like special orthopedic shoes. And,
Right. Well, my
all this
daughter
other
got
shit.
rigged with $6,000 worth of braces, so that was fine. But I mean, so like everybody
Multiply
says,
that
the whole
5.
thing is you say like a kid costs like $150,000 or something like that to raise.
Yeah, but you pay that in installments.
Exactly.
It's not
that
upfront.
expensive. So I mean, it's
Yeah, but she doesn't
having a
get
whole
into
nother
like
car.
all the activities and all the stuff. that you're
No.
doing. Yeah. So
Right.
if you had somebody learning piano lessons and doing this event,
I
and
guarantee you
this
I can
one,
find cheaper ways to do all of those things. So, if I wanted to give my daughter piano lessons, so I've got a sister-in-law in town who's like a professionally trained musician. There we go. Here's one. All right. So if my kid wanted to learn parkour, it'd be like, okay, so let's go run around the park a little bit and try this for a little bit.
you're gonna run around
Yeah,
the park and try these
absolutely
things.
not. I'll draw little chalk marks. Keep trying shit like that. But like kids are self-entertaining vehicles in a lot of respects too, man. And so, I mean, and I don't know, I probably raise my kids different than you do. But I'm very hands off. Like I don't I don't push my nose into her business when it comes to her schoolwork. I don't make her do her fucking homework. So, if she decides that she wants to have C's, great. You're a C student, no problem. So, but this is what's going to happen down the road. Are you cool with it? No. So, okay, then you got to do a little bit more work because she does it herself. So, if I were to raise another kid and she was like that too, it wouldn't be that expensive, man. So,
Hey Jeff, how close were we growing up in learning styles?
You and I?
Yeah. Since he's saying his second kid would probably follow.
So the administration remained the same. The results were very different.
see, I'm concerned about the administrative costs. So, yeah.
So
the results are on the kid, man.
the problem, of course, is that when you take, example 1, right? And if example 1 is running fine, then what that means is that's proof of concept. And
right.
theoretically, any following units should be able to adhere to those same
The blueprint's laid out.
tactics. Right.
Right.
And if the tactics don't work, you don't change them, you presume that you have a faulty second product.
And you dispose of it? What?
You bash heads.
You trade it in?
The first thing is you check and you see if you sent in the warranty card. If you didn't, and you're fucking stuck with it, then
And now 5? Oh my god.
Actually, I don't think there wouldn't have been enough time. No, there wouldn't have been enough time. Unless
Or hands, or
yeah, you're at that point you can't even, dude. You at least with 1 you can still play man or zone,
yes.
right?
Sure.
Yeah, that's
2,
not a problem.
you can still cover
Two,
it
you
with
can
2.
do that.
You
It
can
depends on how far apart they are in years too. So,
At 3,
So like my brother and
You
I,
have
we
to
were
play as
almost
a one.
5. We were 5 years apart, and so when he was 5 and running around the house like crazy, I was 10 and building models, kind of thing. And so we were kind of like in different management zones,
absolutely.
And so that depends too. So or like so I've got 2 sets of cousins on my mom's side of the family that are twins. And so if you got 2 of them who are doing the exact same thing at the exact same time, that's a different equation as well.
Absolutely.
So, but I mean, but anyway, to get back to where I was originally on that one, the only thing that I would change about that is I wouldn't wait till when I was older to get married. In fact, I probably would have gotten married even sooner, and I would have had kids a lot sooner. So those are the only 2 things that I would change.
You got married pretty soon.
I got
after
married
knowing
at
your wife.
23. I could have gotten married 6 months sooner. So, yeah.
You're
But 6
squabbling
months.
over the 6 months?
No, I don't care. So,
But you said you wish you could have gotten married earlier.
If I said if there was 2 things that I could change, that would be one of them. So we would have just fucking rocked it out, gone to Vegas, got it wrapped up, not spent all that fucking money.
See,
on
that's
that.
you should have just said that. You could have just walked it back and said like, we should have just gotten married, and we should just like.
We should have just gotten married.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Again, you just look at the sign that says, at Popeyes, it says we can do catering or large orders. You have your.
no, that means I'm gonna have guests. Fuck that.
Fuck you. Look, we don't have to like
Gonna rock out
celebrate
there.
we don't have to celebrate like big or anything like
Right.
that, but you can have at least a couple of us over.
Yeah, I guess so.
Share some chicken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
share some
Yeah,
chicken.
share some chicken or something like it's something easy, something like now either do it like you mean it, right? And go all out, or just be like, hey, we're going to the park, or we're going to Vegas.
We're going
Because
to
if
Vegas.
you motherfuckers went and got married in Vegas and didn't invite us to come along, like,
I don't think we would have gone to Vegas. We would have just gone to the courthouse. So,
okay, so
yeah, then we
courthouse
would
is
have had a
fine.
party. So
Courthouse
sure.
is fine, but yeah, like if you went to Vegas, if you did a destination wedding and
Yeah.
didn't actually invite us, like we show up like we dress nice for the ceremony, but then we're at the tables like
Oh.
afterwards or in the sports book.
See, I think a destination wedding's cool because then if
I agree.
it becomes a vacation for everyone else. If you want to go,
Absolutely.
and if you don't, you have a perfect excuse on not showing up to a wedding.
Yeah.
Well, you show up. You show up to the ceremony.
Well, no, I mean if it's like you don't really want to go to a wedding, you
Oh yeah.
you're like, oh, I can't afford going to blah.
Well, and I don't know what you guys.
Well, and that's that. Okay, so let me put a cat. That's dependent upon like who you're inviting and whether or not putting them
On
So,
the
like,
spot. kind of
Yeah,
thing.
so like the folks in my family, my mom's side, who got married after me, because I think Pam and I were the first, if I'm not mistaken. But there was like 3 weddings, bang, 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 right in a row, and we're all fucking dirt ass poor at this point in time. And so like one of them was a destination wedding in San Francisco. I couldn't
Could be
afford that.
fun. Yeah.
I couldn't afford that. The next one was Hawaii, and there was like no fucking way.
Oof.
So yeah, exactly. And it was kind of like, all right, well, it's really cool and stuff like that, but I can't do that because I'm really poor, at the time. I
Were
really
you guys like hurt that you couldn't go?
Yeah, there was a little bit of butthurt there
Was it?
because they came out to mine. So yeah,
Okay.
But that's the thing is, if you hadn't spent like all that cash, you could have gone.
if I had been better with my money at that time, but I was stupid with my money. So
Well, we were kids,
I
man.
know,
Like,
man.
what do you
So-
expect? This is the same, like, these are the same people that, yeah, you're like, okay, so when all of us, I'm sorry, we're dumbest with our money, that's when you should get married. Or after,
it's
or,
exactly when you should get married.
Or
So-
after-
Because you're gonna do a cheap wedding.
Well, because you're going to learn together real fast. So, because you're not going to want to move back in with mom and dad. So, you're going to have to nut up. You're going to have to get a job. You're going to have to, like, drive that piece of shit car,
Or they're
carpool each
paying
other
for it.
around. Or they're paying for it, which they shouldn't do. So,
if they got money to burn, go get help.
if they got money,
I don't
that's
care, but-
fine, man.
yeah,
but I mean, like, I've told my daughter many times, I'm not paying for your college. So, you got to figure that out. All right. So, maybe I'll help you out with some stuff here or there, but at the same point in time, if you're gonna actually be serious about that, you either got to get the scholarships or you got to take on the loans, and I'm fine with that. And so, you figure it out. Same thing with the wedding. It's like, yeah, I'll chip in a few bucks, but I'm not paying for the whole fucking thing. So that's my money. So, and I'm gonna spend every last penny of it.
You have a daughter. It's your responsibility.
Fuck that. You get a better dude.
Well, if we're talking about things that should be made law,
That
in the case of same-sex marriages, somebody must be designated a daughter for law purposes to see who's on the hook for paying for the wedding. That could be determined by coin flip, or which one of you identifies as femme, or
I don't believe in dowries. So, I'm sorry. I think it's a ridiculous tradition.
well,
So,
Patrick, you get things in return. Like part of their kingdom has to become yours.
I don't want it, man. I just want to retire in peace. Leave me alone. So, I don't want to administrate shit.
So, like, all right. So there are certain weddings, like, again, like if we're gonna go to, like, fuck it, like you go out east, whatever, you're gonna do one of those big weddings because you're
Sure.
expected to. Like, if it's something where the parents are like, look, these are family get-togethers, right? And if they want to pay for that shit, go nuts,
Knock
because it's
yourself
like,
out.
we're gonna have, like, look, this is just how it goes. We have big family gatherings, and on top of that, all of your family members gonna show up with checks from like $100 to like $500 a piece. Those are for you.
Okay.
Right. go for it, because we go to their weddings and we write checks for $100 to $500.
Yeah, I've done that.
You know, for their fucking kids, or
Yeah,
like,
I've done that.
okay, got it, no problem. If you're just putting it on the kids, right? That's something where it's like, so Arby's, you know, it's like you gotta be
Yeah,
like,
no, that's true. I mean, if it is something that's a really big deal and it's important like that, but still at the same point in time, I mean, I've seen so many people get in trouble over this shit, where, you know, they set this expectation in the beginning. They're young, they don't have a lot of money, they don't have set careers or things like that.
yeah,
They spend 30 grand on a fucking wedding.
yeah.
Okay, and now not only do they have that debt, but they have to try and stitch together a life together. You know, it's really hard to do at that point in time. So, you know, if you do get some folks who are in a situation where it's like, well, I want this, this, and this. It's like, okay, well, want and can do are two different things. Okay, so let's focus on what we can do, and I'll help you with that.
Well,
Okay, you know.
imagine fighting over finances, and part of the financial burden is that wedding that you paid for.
Yeah.
So when it's already tough, and it's like,
And it's
well,
not like a school loan that
yeah,
you can just, you know, have it there.
Well, that's even if you did it as a loan. See, I paid for all mine in cash, which burned through all my cash at that point in time. So everything was going on a credit card for the next year and a half. Before that got shut down, I was like, what the fuck, man? So, yeah, I was like, overtime for me, baby.
yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
that was a really formative experience for my wife and I. And so, you know, it really made a difference in the long run. So,
That's you. This is the thing, is you are now Huxtables. You're doctor and lawyer, right?
Yeah,
and,
we are
and you're not talking about Mr. and Mrs. Come and Go, where you're.
I've been Mr. and Mrs. Come
I
and Go.
know, but what I'm saying here is
You had the
Mr. and
brain
Mrs.
power and
Lifetime.
capacity to
Exactly.
get
It had
there.
nothing to
These
do
are
with
the
brain power, man. It had everything to do with just showing up over and over and over again.
I know, but
So-
that's you. I'm not saying that like people aren't capable of it, but I'm just saying statistically, there's not as many doctors and lawyers as
There
you're
are.
thinking here. So if you're taking the people that work at Freddy's, right, and that's their marriage, and they're gonna be at Freddy's because they're Freddy's people.
They need to be
like,
better than Freddy's.
that's what I'm saying. Is if you put them in that position, spend $30,000 there,
They're fucked.
versus like you guys, where it's
Yeah,
like,
they're fucked.
look, man, I know you did your homework. I know your wife did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know you guys were like, I know what you guys. I can guess from your careers. I can say like, you scored between here and here on your SATs,
Mhm.
right? I can give you the ranges, right?
Yeah.
And I can. But that's not everybody, and
No.
in fact, it's not even the majority of people
No.
that are going to be in there. So for you guys, that worked out because you were able to put those magnificent brains to.
Yeah, dude, I am mid-tier when it comes to IQ. So I'm not, I mean, I'm not that amazing. I think my IQ is 124. So
That's really good. That's not
Is
mid
it?
tier. No.
I have no idea.
yeah, I
don't know
thought
what my
really
test-
good was like 140. So
I don't think I've
I
taken
thought
an IQ
genius
test.
level was like 160.
No.
Where do you
Am I
take an
off?
IQ
Yeah.
test? Just like
Well,
online.
No, don't
Don't do
those.
that.
Those
Okay.
are those
No,
are-
they're
So
bullshit.
where do you do an IQ test?
I took one when I was in therapy. Well,
you take yeah. You can have a you can find one right and you have it
Wait,
properly
they gave you an
administered.
IQ test for therapy?
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, I did all
Oh.
these personality tests too, man.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
yeah, the Rorschach test where they give you the ink blot. Did you ever do one of those?
I didn't get any of this.
Oh, I had to do one of those before they put me on pills.
Yeah, right. You got to understand, like 124
Mm-hmm.
is exceptional.
I didn't know that. I thought 140 was really good.
140 is Mensa.
I thought 160 was Mensa.
No.
Oh, I must be off base then. I don't think mine's that high then. I'd have to retest. So
Here's the thing. Like, so Forrest Gump was 80.
right, he can't
Actually,
even
he
get in
was
the
sub-
army. He wasn't even supposed to get in the army.
No, he's sub
So, yeah.
80. Okay, that
So-
was 80 is the cutoff line.
Right.
Okay, average is around 100.
Are you sure?
Why do you think I'm such an asshole?
I don't think you're an asshole. It's
no, 100 is right around average.
So I'm just remembering it differently. I don't think you're an asshole. So this is just one of those things. I remember taking it and they didn't tell me that I was a genius level kid. So in fact, I've met people who are way smarter than me, you know, in terms of you're smarter than me, man. You're way sharper on your feet than I am. So
That's this. Yes,
yeah.
I know that my IQ is very high, but that
Yeah. Okay.
has nothing to do with intelligence.
Well, I thought that was like your RAM.
Dude,
All right.
No, I think you got a bigger card than I do, man.
no, dude. Okay, so the thing that I have over you and you is I have way more memory than you guys do in terms of like
my memory is
storage.
my storage is very
Mine's
bad.
jacked.
Mine's bad.
My storage is big and it's surprisingly
Full of a lot of
organized.
beer.
Yeah,
Yeah, mine.
it's surprisingly organized and it's cross-referenced with a lot of things,
Okay.
right? But in terms of IQ, what does it really measure? Do you remember what was on the IQ test? What it was
Oh
having to
god,
do?
this is 20 years ago.
It hasn't changed.
Well, I'm sure it hasn't changed, but I remember there were like diagram problems and then there
Mhm.
were like logic problems on there.
Yes, a lot of it is basically like you're going to look at patterns. You're going to look at
There's a lot of pattern
there's
problems.
patterns. There's a
Yeah.
lot of basically like spatial awareness kind of problem solving, that kind of thing, right? There's going to be a version of the like, all right, you have a 5-gallon bucket and a 3-gallon bucket. How do you fill the 4-gallon bucket?
Right.
Right, from Die Hard.
Leaves
right?
us 4 gallons. Don't spill it, motherfucker.
Yeah. So there's stuff like that, right? That's all the test is. It's really like a.
I just watched.
That's why I brought it up, man. It's like they might as well have you do the Towers of Hanoi, all the other shit.
Oh, right.
Because all that stuff is like puzzle solving stuff from like those games, right?
Yeah.
A lot of it's those kind of questions, those kind of abilities, because those are the things that you can measure and say this transcends like language and math. Right.
Yeah.
That's where that comes in. Right.
But I thought it basically measured cognitive capacity. So like how far you could tax your brain on any individual task. So it's
In a
like
way.
RAM. So
In a way, I mean, it's your ability to basically look and solve problems and abstract things.
Right.
Being able to basically bend the rules to find those things. And if you're at 124, yeah, you're in the upper echelon.
okay.
Right. You're in the upper echelon. Yeah.
See, I remember like 120 being like so I thought I was just a little bit above average. So because they broke it down into quintiles, I thought, but apparently I'm wrong about that. So
No, you're good.
yeah, but I wouldn't attribute my success to any form of intelligence, man. So, really, I mean, I know guys.
It's caused me more problems than it's ever solved.
Well, yeah, you got too much RAM, maybe. So.
Well, no, until I started taking pills, I would basically like
You'd overclock. Yeah.
I would kill myself thinking about scenarios to problems
Right,
and
yeah.
emotionally feeling things that never happened.
Right, and weren't going to happen.
Which is what my mom does. Which is where you get most of your IQ from, is from your parents.
Yeah, it's almost all congenital.
Yeah.
So. And isn't it? I've taught this in my class many times, but it's fairly stable over your lifetime too. I mean, unless you take a hammer to your head or something.
Right. Head
Yeah.
injuries will do that.
Yeah, and then drug addiction will do it too. So
Not what you're thinking, man. You're fine.
don't do fentanyl, William.
Oh, that.
So
I don't know. I don't think heavy drinking does a lot of wonders for it.
it will.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't help. Yeah.
It's not
So-
something that's going to make it go up, but it's not something where it's like, I went to sleep last night and like now I can't tell if there's 4 or 5 lights. It's like I'm being tortured by Cardassians, right? It's not. It's not how that works. You don't just wake up and you're like, "Fuck, I'm dumb," right? It's not.
Where's my toothbrush?
It's not that. Like, it can slow you. If anything, like, it just makes it harder for you to do things, right? It's like, it's not that you've like totally fried out. It's just like, God, I have to think way harder to do this than I used to.
Yeah. That's
Some of that's age, though, too.
Yeah. On top of that,
Some of
like,
that's age.
so also when it comes to the brain's capacity, it's like, here you go. All right, it's going up here, and then once you
But
get
does your IQ drop as you get older?
Marginally. So,
until you hit about you get
Where
to
it falls off a cliff?
your late 20s, and then
Late
right.
20s.
yeah, it's late
Yeah.
20s when it peaks. So yeah.
Yeah, and then it falls off a cliff. Okay.
And then it's steady.
And then it's steady for a long time, and then there's another
Diaper
gradual
years.
drop off.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
late
didn't-
20s, early 30s. Your peak mental
So
acuity.
taking it right now, it'd be.
No. It's your
No,
IQ is gonna say
it's not
thinking.
like it doesn't drop by like 30%.
Oh,
so
and that's
I don't know. You said a cliff,
no,
dude.
it is. It's a cliff, but it's about speed,
yeah, it's how fast you can do things. So,
right?
yeah.
So if you're thinking like, I can call this like, you just sit there and you're like, like think about like people. Okay, different crowd, but like guys that would play like Dungeons and Dragons, right? So back in the day, it's like dice, and it's you're throwing dice, and it's always like 2-hit armor class 0, blah 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 blah. So you take this, subtract this, and you'd have people basically doing like mental math
Oh, right,
races, right?
So that's a matter of practice, though, too.
It is.
Yeah.
But there's this thing, like, as you get older, right? You can't do mental math. You can still do it, but it doesn't come as quickly. That's like the
Gotcha.
fall off that they're talking
You
about.
can do it if you practice it, though.
Well,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah,
This
so
is-
that's why Sudoku is so good for you. So
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
the same thing why, like, when it comes to, like, my memory, I'm, like, constantly thinking about these
Right.
things and indexing it and whatever, right? It's not just as, like, Jeff, tell me something that happened on, like, the 4th of December of 1985. But, like, I'd have to think about all the things that correlated with that because I'd seen them or thought about them recently.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
If it's just something dusty from the attic, I'm like, fuck, this is going to be a minute. Like,
accessing.
this might be something that mom took with her when she moved.
Indexing.
The same shit where I'm like, why don't I have a ladder?
Did I put it in the wrong drawer?
I've bought like 5 power drills. I can't find any of them. Right? You know, it's just stuff like that. But
Oh, you wanted my lawnmower, didn't you?
yeah, when you get to it,
I'll bring it on
it's
Wednesday.
totally when you get to it, man. It's just fine. All right, so
Oh, we're over time here.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
what are we charging extra?
I think we need to pay them.
All right.
All right, I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
Oh, I'm Jeff.
Hitting the
I was writing something.